In a world where MMR lives and dies by the color of the coin, humanity is struggling to survive in the top 1,000 in order to receive the greatest gift imaginable. Shiny border. In this unforgiving world, 12 men stand defiant in the face of certain annihilation, as Coin Team Blue take on Red Team Coin in an exclusive fight. This holiday season, ImpetuousPanda, Swim, Jaggerous, Sqwerell, watch as the factions of Red and Blue Coin face each other. A cataclysmic showdown that'll change the face of Gwent as we know it. Forever.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the most serious and professional Gwent tournament event that we have ever seen, the almighty Coin Clash. My name is Jaggerous, and I will be hosting for you guys today. And welcome to Coin Clash. Coin Clash features two teams, Team Red Coin versus Team Blue Coin. And as is the rules in Gwent, Team Red Coin have the privilege of going second, whereas Team Blue Coin are going first, and ultimately we'll find out whether everyone who complains about the coin flip is correct or incorrect. This is I guess what we're going to find out today. Now, this is a bit of a different event in that the matches are rated based on 3 categories. So it's not just who wins. You have the outcome of the game, then we have the outcome of a jury vote. So juries then vote on which deck they believe is the better deck for completely arbitrary reasons. And if tied afterwards, we have a caster vote, which means our lovely casters will be able to vote on the winner. So you'll be able to see that should we reach a tie. Now, bear in mind that our lovely casters are Swim, ImpetuousPanda, and Sqwerell, so they'll be able to make their decisions on who wins should it come to that. The jury vote, like I said, is solely based on the deck list. They decide whose deck is more flavorful and or fun, but there are some rules about deck building. So first and foremost, no meta decks. This means no spies, no discard, no consume, none of that like ladder stuff. This is Coin Clash, you guys. We do things differently here. So none of that, and also you must include at least 2 golds and 3 silvers. So no completely bronze decks. I mean, you can have mostly bronze decks. You could have, 35 bronze cards in your deck, should you wish. That is kind of what's going to go on. And like I said, we've got 6 matches for you guys today because we have 6 members of Red Coin and 6 members of Blue Coin. And the first matchup is going to be from Team Red Coin, Bane. And for Bane, you might have thought that the coin flip was your ally, but you guys merely adopted the coin flip. He was born in it, molded by it. He didn't see a red coin until he was already a Grandmaster. And he will be against the lovely Red Coin member Bearsuit, who I can imagine is quite excited for upcoming Skellige changes, as there will be plenty of bears. But without further ado, I will hand over to our lovely casters, who will break down the deck lists before we get into the first game of Coin Clash. Take it away, boys.
Hey guys, did you
hello.
expect that Lambert?
The Lambert? Oh yeah, no. Lambert is something that Bane personally is infamous for. It's there was never going to be a deck here without Lambert.
I think Lambert has become pretty quickly. I think he's overtaken Gonjaro Dim as the meme master, I think, in Gwent. So it's a great addition. I think Freddy kind of elevated him to that status, and it's great to see him in pretty much all of Bane's decks.
So
It's kind
the
of
deck,
incredible.
yeah, the deck here in this case is going to be Bane's Shotgun Harpy deck, which of course has the strategy of shoving as many Harpies as possible into your deck and getting them all out very quickly by killing your own units with Staleford's Charmers. I expect this to go spectacularly well, in a manner of speaking.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the result of this at the top of the subreddit at one point, where he had to close his ears for the result of that. It was pretty great. He's rocking the School of the Wolfrock Glambert as his avatar. Shout out to my boy Zero for making that amazing artwork. And honestly, I'm really looking forward to see if it's actually going to work out. It worked out at the top of ladder, so why can't it work out here? And honestly, I'm so glad that someone that just started out their career by just spamming every single streamer's chat with Bless RNG Lambert make it to the peak of Gwent, which is Coin Clash.
Yeah, he's kind of like the Rocky Balboa of Gwent. I think he started really low, but he's finally making it to the top, and he's here going to be the first member we're going to be seeing in this great event. So I think he's definitely going to be on the spotlight for tonight.
Okay, and who is his opponent going to be here, Sqwerell?
Well, his opponent is going to be Bearsuit, a man in a bear suit. He was one of the 3 people in Team Pixie, consisting of Bearsuit, Crash Overlord, and Dunkoro, who won the last Gwenelman's Invitational, I believe.
Oh yeah, and the Gwenelman's Invitational is obviously, it was a huge tournament. Only 3 people ended up winning out of an absolutely large number of people that showed up. What do you think about this one, Panda?
I think it's interesting. I'm seeing a lot of, variety, a lot of different cards here. I'd even maybe risk saying none of the cards are copied in this deck. They are all. It's a diverse, it's a big family. I think Bearsuit really encompassing all of what is monsters, and I think he maybe has a special buff or special power up because of this.
I think that Bearsuit might have taken a peek at those arena decks that we ran a few weeks back and decided that that was a viable format for a tournament. And honestly, I'm loving what I'm seeing here. I think my favorite part might be the Singleton Necker.
Yeah, I think he's going to get a lot of synergy with, two of the other cards in the deck, which is, good enough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more than good enough. I mean, don't forget the She-Troll of Bergen as well. This Necker could easily be hitting 6 strength without even the Vran consuming multiple targets.
Exactly. You think of that as a finisher, and I mean, you start trembling, right? A 6 strength Necker, come on, that's way too good.
And you got the Arc Spore dealing 4 damage to any carryover that they might have. This, I honestly don't see a way how Bearsuit can lose this.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, he's prepared for the mirror because, well, okay, never mind. So we should be able to get into this match momentarily. I believe should be very exciting, gentlemen. Who is your money going to be on here?
I think, to be honest, it's Bane. I mean, we didn't see a Slizzard in Bearsuit's deck, so that means that possibly he might not have enough power there to really win it in terms of thinning. So I think Bane has the upper hand here.
I think I gotta go with Bane just because of that artwork. I'm not biased at all, by the way. I'm going with Blaine. With Bane, sorry. Bless our Blaine.
New player Blaine enters the arena.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. It's a bit of a tough one. I am actually let's go ahead and put my money on Bearsuit just to add controversy to this whole event.
All right. You gotta spice it up somehow. Let's get into it.
Yeah, man. I'm a large proponent of the Highlander style deck. This is, I believe that this is gonna come into fashion. And honestly, it's good practice for the new card Siri Nova, which has a slightly different deck building requirement, but at the same time, maybe a little bit similar of a mentality.
Yeah, I think he's definitely prepping for the new game mode as well, right? Like, this is just exactly what's going to happen when you draft exactly the cards that you don't need for the deck. He's just getting it out of the way now.
Okay, so right off the bat, we have the opening hands here, and Bane is sitting at a pretty powerful hand with 2 Necker Warriors, not too many bricked cards, and he's got the 2 Tremors to work off of as well.
Instantly with that mulligan, he knows what he wants, and he got the Lambert. He has the Lambert in his hand every time.
There's a chance that because this deck is kind of known because of, like you said, that Reddit post earlier, it might mean that Bearsuit kind of can work around that finishing play with a Harpy. So it might give Bearsuit a bit of an edge as well in this matchup.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit tricky. Bane executing a very, very combo-oriented deck, and Bearsuit on the other end of the spectrum with an all-over-the-place deck.
I did not see that one coming. Operator on the Necker Warrior. What do you think he's going to be pumping out with the hand that he has right now?
Well, typically you'll get 1 Harpy out and then just spam your Necker Warriors and that. With 4 Necker Warriors coming down, you are looking at a total of 11 Harpies potentially coming out of your deck, more with Decoy and Summoning Circle as well.
Yeah, I think we're easily going to reach about 12 Harpies, which is, kind of the optimal point, I think, in terms of winning games. So around 12 to maybe 14 Harpies is going to be a pretty good bet for Bane to win this one.
Yep. We're going to see Bearsuit opening up with Dagon, just getting that Fog right on the board.
Everyone's favorite starter for Dagon. Dagon into Fog. And Bane just responds with his Sea Harpies. He's looking to get that engine going as quickly as possible.
And we're seeing some lightning fast plays coming out of these players. Bearsuit just continuing to develop that sweet, sweet weather.
Yeah, they're really pushing our limits on competitive hype casting right here. He's going to go with the Unseen Elder, pick up value off of the egg, get the Operator out of Fog, and get the last Sea Harpy? No, he's got to want to take that regular Harpy out. Yeah, that's what he does.
What do you think about that last choice, Panda?
I think it's interesting. I mean, the fact that you leave those units on the Frost, for example, is interesting. Kind of not playing around that damage. But I think another very important point here is to see when he is going to play that Lambert. I mean, I think pretty quickly he's going to find out that what kind of deck Bearsuit is running, and he's going to kind of guess that Lambert might not get the most value in this case, which is quite sad.
Do you guys think that Bearsuit had this next level strategy in mind from the very beginning because he knew that Bane was going to run Lambert? What better counter to Lambert's damage than to just run 1 of every single card?
That might have actually been the genius strategy employed by Bearsuit in this case. Reducing Lambert to the value of a 12-point card makes him a little better than a vanilla Geralt even.
There we see that Necker already at 4 strength thanks to that Vran consume. We're going to have to watch really closely to see how much that Vran can consume. Because the Necker finisher is something that I think Bane has to be very careful with here.
And we have the Stamble for Tremors, Bane electing not to take it to smash those eggs. And this Arcus board is just going to keep peppering away at Bane's board. How many Harpies have we seen so far? Is this 3 so far coming out?
I think it's best not to count. I mean, I think none of us are.
I've
really,
already lost track, dude. I don't play Gwent to count up the map.
It's something you can't really, I think, do feasibly in this matchup. It's going to be really, really hard. Some high-level algorithms, you got to pump them out to count these harpies. So I think it's best just to kind of ignore it a bit, just be surprised at the very end.
What do you guys think Bearsuit's thinking of with that she-troll of Vergen? He's hovering over it. Do you think he's going to use it round 1?
Well, you have the Earth Elemental, and you have the Rot Fiend as well. I think I saw Rot Fiend in that deck, so he will be able to smash Bane's Siege Row here if he does want to.
We just see the constant decoys here. I mean, Necro Warrior, Harpies is a pretty straightforward game plan, I think. I think round 1 isn't really the round where you're going to pump out these Harpies, so he's just setting it all up for the next few rounds where he's really going to unleash.
It's a bit of an interesting play, electing to decoy the one that was at full health, as well as play the original one on the range draw into the fog to begin with. Why do you think he's doing that, Sqwerell?
Honestly, I have no idea. Like, I think he's just rolling with it, man. He's just giving time for, he's lulling Bearsuit into a false sense of security by playing like this. So he's just giving him targets to work around. It's just a distraction, dude. You can't question his master plan.
And the Wombo combo from Cyclops into Arcaspor, forcing Bane to pass. I'm in a Bearsuit takes a solid lead here. 3 consumes with the Vran. Could be looking at an 8-point Necker. He has the carryover and he won on even cards.
But did Bearsuit force Bane to pass, or did Bane force Bearsuit to win that round?
I don't think we're ever going to find out the answer to that question, my man. Oh, you hate to see that.
Yeah, that is the mulligan of your nightmares. And you're not really looking at a great summoning circle target here as well.
What is he thinking about doing? Like, is he going to play those Witchers out round 2? Force a 2-0 out of Bane?
Ooh, that could be it. Or he could just smash them for tempo and force Bane to at least play very aggressively, limiting his options. I expect to see a Woodland Spirit out here, as you don't know how long these rounds are going to be.
Oh, he's hovering over the premium Lambert. I think Bearsuit might have made that premium on purpose in anticipation for that match, just as you said. Straight for the Woodland Spirit, smashing the front row.
Yeah, we see Bane here in trouble already. Equal cards and still, down on points. He's going to really need a really big finisher in round 3 to try and claw it back if Bearsuit decides to push here.
Yeah, and the most important thing is that Bane is really being bled out of his resources. Not even the cards in hand, but he's forced out of the Woodland Spirit. He might draw Renew for it later, but Bearsuit is sitting comfortably with Renew, Royal Decree, and Blue Dream, and can do whatever he wants with them.
So, you hate to see that low efficiency Lambert, but I think that he sees Bearsuit's plan. He recognizes there's no way a deck this ridiculous is going to have multiples of any card, so I might as well just get my 12-point gold over with.
Exactly, not great value, but it was a tough time for Lambert. I think this game, not really the spotlight that he wanted to be in. He does just bow out and just decide to let these Harpies really do the work in this round 3.
Yep. So we see Bane starting out with his proactive Kalena Harpy. It's going to be really, really tough for Bane to overcome the resources that Bearsuit has here.
I think it's important to note we do see Blue Dream in Bearsuit's hand. The double Lambert is a possibility, and we're going to be seeing a lot of Harpies at the very end. We'll see if Bearsuit can time this right and get that really spicy value at the end there.
Dude,
that is absolutely correct.
How is Bearsuit so good at this, dude? He recognizes he's going to use Bane's Lambert against him. Like, I guarantee that blue meme was put in his deck just to try to get Lambert out in round 1 and round 2, just so he can use it against him in round 3 to turn the tables and win the game. Watch,
and in addition to all that, he has the one of Highlander deck to deny the Lambert value from Bane. This truly is the Lambert matchup.
I mean, is there a chance that there could have been maybe some kind of spy getting that deck list from Bane and helping Bearsuit out? It might be possible. We're seeing some Cold War spy action in this blue coin, red coin.
Next level information warfare right now. I can't believe how well Bearsuit played around the fact that he knows Bane will run Lambert in every single deck.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it might just be, this game might be won before the game even started. It's hard to tell, really, but, I mean, Bearsuit definitely has a game plan, and he's executing it perfectly.
And here comes the She-Troll of Vergen. Is this going to be on the Rot Fiend? It has the opportunity to smash all of those cows down.
Oh, not good at all. You said it, Regis. This is looking pretty bad for Bane. I think that Bearsuit's got this one in the bag. Do you guys see any way that Bane can get out of this?
This is looking very, very hard for Bane. I mean, he has the tremors, and he is going to pull out a couple harpies here, but it's just not going to be enough.
Yeah, I think Bearsuit acknowledges the game plan that Bane's trying to execute. He saw it earlier, maybe. He was, given some valuable info before the game. And I mean, if you know your opponent's game plan, it's going to be hard for Bane to execute properly.
It's the price of fame, man. You get to the subreddit and everyone's going to be gunning after you.
So an amazing strategy from Bearsuit, predicting exactly what Bane was going to do, and really shutting him out of this first game. What are we going to be looking at when this game? It looks like this is just.
Yeah, I mean they're just playing it out, right? I mean the blue meme is honestly just an ace in a hole, right? Even on the off chance that he gets all those harpies out, Lambert hits multiple targets, right? So he just gets those four, like every single harpy that gets damage is going to get killed, right? This blue meme is seeing the most optimal possible combo in all of Gwent, countering Lambert with his own tools.
Yeah, and I'm in a Bearsuit is not going to let this game end without the very swift use of Bane's very own Lambert. There it is, closing this one out for Team Red Coin from Game 1.
Yeah, Bearsuit with a dominant victory. I mean, if he kind of disrupted Bane's game plan there, so it was really tough for Bane to come
double
back.
Lambert. It's premium too. Double premium Lambert, boys. Bane just hoisted by his own petard, so to speak. Absolutely blown out by his own favorite card. I don't know. He might not ever come back from this.
Yeah, when your own meme defeats you, I mean, it's time to maybe, just get out of the game. Get out of Gwent.
I know that. I know that feel in its entirety. So, Sqwerell, could you explain what we're going to be doing at this point with this voting process?
So what's going to happen basically is we're going to check the jury, right? The jury votes, and I believe those are the crowns right there. And the jury, which is off panel and don't deserve any credits, will vote on which they thought was the most flavorful deck. And if there is a tie, which there is in this particular case, we will see that it's up to us to decide who actually won that matchup. So Bearsuit won the actual game, but the jury's decided that Bane's deck is more flavorful or fun, so we get to vote on what we think actually won the deck, or actually won the game. So why don't we start it off with you, Swim? Who do you think won that game in spirit?
I personally would say that Bearsuit did win the game in spirit. The fact that he was able to counter Bane's strategy so well with double Lambert finisher is a really, really hard thing to contend with there.
What about you, Panda?
I think Bane had the better idea going into the matchup, where he had a deck that had, a very clear-cut strategy, meme strategy to win it, and I think Bearsuit had like a more random, just include every card, kind of an easier way out. But the fact that Bearsuit was able to read the Lambert from Bane and play around that, and also include the Blue Dream Lambert steal as well, gives Bearsuit the edge. I think just that information war, he won it.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was with Bane all the way until the double premium Lambert showdown, just at the very end for maximum BM. I think I have to give it to Bearsuit. So I guess it looks like Bearsuit wins this 2-1 on the votes, and he keeps his victory in the bag. That's 1 for Red Coin. Why don't we bring it back to Jaggerous so she could set us up for the next matchup?
Thank you so much, guys, and what a delight to watch. I honestly think Bane may have lost it when he did not use his Lambert to kill Lambert. Come on, you have the opportunity. There's 3 Witchers sitting there, and at that point, Lambert's spirit clearly wasn't with Bane, and I think Bearsuit ultimately took the game. Next up, however, we have the lovely Blue Rame for Blue Coin. This is Red Rame's coin flip alter ego, Blue Rame, and going up against from Red Coin, the savior of the universe, Crash Overlord. So that will be our next matchup. Can Team Blue Coin take one from Red Coin and even things up going into this next set? Or is the coin flip rigged? Are you at a disadvantage if you're part of Team Blue Coin? Who knows? We'll find out shortly. Back to the casters.
So I gotta say, Red Dream, I think to me is one of the more accomplished deck builders in Gwent. I expect to see some really fantastic things from him coming down in the future. However, I don't know that I can say the same for his alter ego Blue Ram.
I'm sensing a pattern with Ale.
Yeah, I think this is kind of his his little brother that's maybe not as advanced in the mental department. This alter ego, Mill ST, I think is an abomination that I'd never wanted to cast over, but I guess here we are. Sqwerell, do you want to go over this deck list? Because I definitely do not want to.
Sure, man. I mean, Red Frame is known by everyone to be a master of building decks that only he knows how to pilot, but I think this is a bridge too far for even that, you know? Like, what do we even got? Like, do you guys even remember what Commander Neophyte does?
Yeah, whenever a player draws a card, or whenever you draw a card, it slaps them by 2.
Is it drawing a card or like drawing a card. All right. Mm-hmm. So the point, I guess, is to just play Molina and hope that the opponent doesn't play cards, right? Like that. Yep. That's kind of how this game goes, right? What do you even do with Milva here?
I mean, the idea with Milva is to return the Avalak to your hand because, of course, you are a mill deck. You deshackle the Avalak, decoy Milva that Avalak right up. And one little subtle interaction here is that if the opponent is playing carryover, you can actually Adrenaline Rush your Neophyte, and the between round draws, including the Mulligan, will slap them around with the Neophyte.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be game deciding. Great. Very good mechanic there.
Need to copy this deck on the ladder. I've been meaning to get my rank 20 for weeks now, and this could be just what I need. Why don't we move on to the Red Coin deck and see what we've got, try to restore our sanity a little bit.
Nope. So Coin deck, we have 3 Adrenaline Rush, 3 Crow's Eyes. It's a pretty interesting deck, all things considered. Panda, I'm gonna go ahead and let you take this one.
Yeah, I think this is going to become Crow's Overlord, new deck for the meta. I think he just saw the wolves and the crows. He's like, yeah, I like animals. I'm going to put these cards in. We're seeing Witchers, though, and we're seeing Lambert, which is always good. And I mean, this isn't that memey, right? You see siege supports, you see some weather, some good synergies here at least.
You know, there's going to be like an A-Rush war between these two guys, right? They're just going to take turns A-Rushing and disabling A-Rush on each other until the first one runs out of the card.
I expect to see some aggressive A-Rushes on Crash Overlord side coming out on these Commando Neophytes.
Nah, dude, I can't wait to see what happens. This is also like a Frost team, you know? Winter is coming. That's really clever. Because he's got Frosts. A lot of Frosts.
And he has wolves.
Yeah.
One thing I gotta point out here, and that's gonna be huge for Crash Overlord, is if he's able to muzzle the de-shackled Avalak, that can completely shut down the strategy of Blue Rame here.
Oh man, muzzle. I thought we weren't allowed to play meta decks, guys.
Wouldn't he want to muzzle? Wouldn't he want to muzzle the Adrenaline Rush Neophyte instead?
Well, you can do that as well. We'll really have to see how he uses the muzzle here, because that's going to be key. So, gentlemen, if we had to place bets, I mean, we wouldn't if we could, but if we had to, where would they go here?
Oh my god. I cannot, for the life of me, ever in good conscience vote for a mill deck. I have to go with Crash. Like, even from like an actually serious perspective for a second here, if he muzzles the Avalok, like, Blue Rame is just dead, right? And plus, I like the winter theme, and again, I gotta emphasize, Mill can die in a fire, so Crash Overlord all the way.
Yeah, I agree. I just recently finished watching Game of Thrones, so I'm gonna go with Crash's deck as well. I like the theme.
Is that a Game of Thrones reference?
It is, Swim. Are you not up to date with just the current thing in 2017?
Yeah, Swim. Are you not up to date?
Wait, me?
Apparently.
Wait, no, obviously it's a Game of Thrones reference. I'm gonna go ahead and put my lot in and call it a 3 for 3 for Crash Overlord, because honestly, this deck rocks. It looks really solid to me. But we should be able to go ahead and kick this one off, get into the match, and just see exactly how this plays out.
The other swim is right, chat.
We do what must be done.
All right, here we go, boys. Francesca Mill. I can't believe I'm doing this. Let's do this, boys.
Gonna be some great interactions here. I'm not really too excited to call them out, but gonna be a lot of good ones.
Yeah. I can't wait. Oh, there's the first A rush. He mills it immediately. That was pretty fun.
And there's the frost, which you don't necessarily want to see, but there's the triple Elven War Dancer coming out from Blue Rain.
Dude, how do you win against that? That's 9 points before you even start playing.
And they blacklist each other too, so that can only happen if you see 3 in your opening pre-mulligan hand.
This is incredible. This is the perfect opportunity for Lambert. He's not gonna go. Oh, dude, Thunder. That's so normie. Come on.
Yeah, I think Crash is taking this a bit too seriously.
Yeah, man.
We wanted to see some of this mill synergy with these neophytes, but maybe we're not going to see too much of it. Of course, the support, not that great. There aren't that many units in this deck, I think, in general. There's a lot more spells, so not the greatest value here for Blue Rain.
But you're still getting a pretty good handcell value out on that support, even if you're only playing like 2 more units for the rest of the round.
So here comes the hand salt, right? What do you do when one of your supports get locked? Well, you just play 2 more. What are they going to do about that? Surely he doesn't have 3 locks in his hand, right?
Surely. So here we go with the R2's Adept, just going to slam down that Frost, getting that value over time and neatly staying ahead of Red Rain here.
Red Rain with a bit of an awkward hand. I mean, what do you really play here without Avalak, for example? You don't really have, that Stefan to fish that Avalak every turn, so it gets a bit more complicated to really start milling.
I'm looking forward to seeing what he pulls. It's got to be an Avalak, right? Like, is he thinking about it? Like, there it is, yeah.
There it is. There's the Avalak. Now, we have some options coming out from Crash. It looks like he's thinking about slamming that Crow's Eye, the first of many, or he could develop a White Frost with care and really put the pressure on. The Crow's Eye is going to come down, smashing for good value, but not as much as the next one.
Yeah, I mean, not going for the Lambert. He's taking it too seriously, man. That was
And here's the
primo.
Milena. The Milena is coming down, reducing Crow's Eye value potentially.
That Milena got hit down to 2, right? That means the first tick of frost will get rid of her. That win condition is all for naught at this point.
Yeah, and the Milena, of course, rescuing the Commando Neophyte from the Frost, in addition to having its armor pinged off by the Crow's Eye, coming out for huge value already.
But that's it. I mean, that's all the value she's going to get. So a bit of a, not a big party for Milena there. We do see Crow's Eye, again, not finding much value now because there's only 1 row of units. So at least Blue Rain has, that going for him. Not much else.
I mean, he gets the School of the Witchers with double supports. That's pretty decent. I mean, how does Red Rain come back from this tempo-wise?
Yeah, this is gonna be a little bit tricky. Crash really taking the lead very firmly with this one. I mean, without the D-Shackles to be able to reuse that Avalak is not going to be too much. We have the D-Shackles off the mark, and we have the Decoy from the Nature's Gift, but Crash Overlord sitting at a comfortable 8 cards left in his deck.
Yeah, I mean, like as soon as the shackles go off or so, he could just pass and be so comfortably in the lead. He just goes for the second clear. How do you respond to that? Like, he just Kira Mets and Thunderbolts and just keeps getting ahead, right? Doesn't he?
Absolutely, and of course he can do whatever he wants here because he has the Hailstorm as a finisher, even if Blue Rain is able to pull something out of his non-existent hand.
I really don't want to root for Crash because it's so comparatively try-hard, but I just can't support Mill. I feel so dirty. It's like Sophie's Choice here. It's a book reference for those of you who still read books. I'm here for you, buddies.
Well, I gotta say, I personally haven't read a book since the 6th grade, but here we have Crash hovering the Lambert. He might actually be thinking about playing it, even though there's not really options here. He's gonna go ahead and close out the round with a Hailstorm.
And Milva, no use whatsoever yet. We haven't. Is there a renew in this deck? There is a renew, I imagine, in Red Rain's deck. So he has that option at least, but no shackles on the Avalak. Not much milling done, and I mean, still 24 cards left in your deck.
Crash hovering over the 3 A rushes in his hand, none of which are particularly going to be that useful in the following rounds.
So I think if Crash really wants to win the tie-breaking vote later on, he has to use that Blue Dream on Avalak. There's no other way to just dominate the matchup.
He's looking at it. I think he knows exactly what Blue Raim's condition has to be, right? He passed for a reason, so Crash just plays the Blue Raim, gets the Avalok, and that's it for Blue Raim, right?
Crash plays the Blue Raim?
Sorry, yeah. Yeah, Crash plays the Blue Raim. It's one of the new cards coming out. Oh, just dry passes. Is he just gonna let him have it?
It's a bold strategy. Then we see the A rush here.
No A rushes, dude. That A rush just being a 0. At least he can blacklist it, right? You can get that sweet muzzle value if he manages to get it, and not the Aretuza Adept. Actually, now that I think about it, blue memeing the Avalok is kind of terrible for Crash, isn't it? Like, what's he gonna draw? 2 A rushes or an A rush and an Aretuza Adept?
Of course it is, but maybe he knows that that's his win condition, not in the game itself, but in the tie-breaking caster vote later on. I mean, you're thinking, 2 different games here.
That's absolutely right. A very good point by Panda there, where you really have to mix it up in this format. You have to think outside the box and really stretch your muscles and neurons that really Gwent doesn't normally test for.
Yeah, muscles and neurons is right, dude. That's incredible foresight right there. I wasn't even thinking about that. This is why they pay you the big bucks, Panda.
I don't know why. Yeah, that's definitely the insight that I'm well known for.
Dude. Yeah. Oh, he gives him the foul ale.
And this foul ale could be giving Red Dream a pretty powerful tool here. Let's see what he got.
Dude, what's he gonna get?
We do see the Renew here, Renew Avalak. Coming in, potentially drawing dead A rushes.
This denies the Blue Dream, is that right?
It does indeed. So, I mean, it closes out that position for Crash. We see a dead A rush there. It's not going to be worth any tempo at all. I mean, could Red Dream potentially claw back into this?
I think it's absolutely doable. I mean, he is going to deshackles the Avalak if there's no unit coming down by Crash. This is a summoning circle on an Avalak. He's going for it. The summoning circle to draw the 2 adrenaline rushes from Crash Overlord's deck.
Debated, boys. Here comes the Avalak. Yeah.
And there it is.
Finally regretting the Game of Thrones reference. The Wolves not helping out here. Yeah, 2 very dead cards in round 3.
This is more like season 1 of Game of Thrones. You're just watching the sword fall very slowly right now. They're just going to play it out. I mean, maybe Crash trying to salvage what dignity he has left by playing out those A rushes on the same Aretuza Adept to just untoggle, retoggle for the memes. Other than that, I don't really see how it's possible for Crash to come back from this.
Blue Raim pulling ahead like crazy with that insane double Avalak finisher, denying both the Blue Dream and, of course, Crash's own draws.
Yeah, it's really tough here for Crash. I think on the other side, Joffrey doing a very good job of just silencing this game. This winter is coming meme, and in the end, I think Crash just doesn't have enough frost, enough wintry bite to really win this.
That's such a perfect analogy, Panda, because it's like Blue Raim is Joffrey because he's killing the Starks very efficiently.
Wait, guys, wait. The Lambert is here. The armor, the Trapper, it's still not coming enough.
Yeah. So as I was saying, he is Joffrey because not only is he killing the Starks, he's also playing the most insufferable archetype.
Guys,
Wait, never mind. It's a tie. Oh no! I mean, it had to end this way, I guess.
Oh my god!
Like this. He even goes for the untoggling.
Oh, that Karamets, the Blue Dream into Renew into Karamets, completely saving Crash from an otherwise unsavable position.
That's incredible. I mean, I was memeing so hard about Joffrey being an insufferable asshole that I just didn't see the math, dude.
I think that might have been the best game of Gwent I have ever seen.
No one has ever done that. No one has ever done that in the history of Gwent.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of new things happen in this game. I think it's an exciting prospect for the games to come as well. But I think it's important to say in this draw, there is not going to be a repeat of the match. Instead, I think the jury vote is a decider, and I think that means that Blue Rim is the winner in this matchup. If I'm correct, Sqwerell.
Well, we don't actually.
Yes, that is correct.
I think that is that we ended up decided on is in that case that is correct. So Blue Rim gets this one. Unfortunately for all of us, Mill wins. Once again. Oh my god.
Unlike Gwent's number one.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, how about those flashbacks, Swim?
I think I'm having more flashbacks than Swim.
Yeah. No, I mean, Panda and I both have been there. But anyway, Blue Rim is gonna go ahead and take it for Blue Coin in match number 2. So Red Coin and Blue Coin sitting comfortably at a tie right now, 1-1.
Yeah, it's a great start. I mean, obviously both teams being very close in the meme department. I think they're really bringing it here. And I think it's we have a lot of great matches to come if that's the beginning of this coin clash.
You guys got to think about it. Crash tied with Blue Rim, even though he had 3 A rushes that he didn't draw until round 3. Just how awful is Blue Rim's deck?
I think that's a question that you do not want answered. You really don't. You don't want to get into the math of what the average value play is because it might be negative.
That's a great point. Why don't we drop it back to Jaggerous so she can help set us up for the future of Gwent as it unfolds tonight.
Yeah, Jaggerous. What do you have to say about that one?
What a fantastic set. I never had any doubts that Francesca would take it. And whoever it is on the jury that voted for Crash Overlord, I will find you, I will mulligan you, and I will draw a better card. Congratulations to Blue Coin for tying up the set. That is 1-1. We did see some spicy Sqwerell Mill and also some Game of Thrones, which is always fun to see. So next up, sticking with the Game of Thrones theme, we have Drago Madril, which is almost dragons, so that's basically Game of Thrones. 14 Blue Coin versus Gravekeeper. And Gravekeeper, for those of you who don't know, played in the 6th faction during the Gwent Invitational. He is from Korea. He's a very strong player, and I have complete faith that he will win as a completely unbiased participant of this event. But without further ado, let's go back to our casters and have a look at these decks.
All right, so right off the bat, I'm a little concerned that Drago Madril might have put the wrong Lambert in his deck.
I mean, that's definitely a good. I think it's a good observation there. But I think the most important part here, Swim, is can you go over the name of the deck actually?
Yeah.
I personally can't. I'm not literate in that language.
Oh, we've got some naughty words in the title there. Unfortunately, Cyrillic's not one of my strengths either. But I mean, I'm starting to think that Bane kind of bribed everyone in this tournament to run at least one copy of Lambert in there. There's no other explanation for this one. What do you think, Panda?
Yeah, I mean, maybe just there was a slip up there in the inclusion of that card in the deck. Obviously, gold and silver, very similar colors. It's an easy mistake, I think. And Drago Madril will have to kind of roll with it and just, make us believe that he really wanted to include that card instead.
Okay, so we have a translation from Twitch chat. If this is to be believed, multiple sources, the translation of this deck is actually go have consensual loving relations after marriage with a horse.
There are no horses in the deck, though.
Yeah. That's the mystery.
That worries me, because there are a lot of horses in Gwent in general.
Dudu can turn into a horse. He's a Doppler.
I mean,
that's true as well.
You have to try very hard, though.
So the one thing about this strategy is you got to wonder: are these swallow potions going to be played on Drago Madril's own units or on Gravekeepers? Because when you have the Dudu and you have the Letho and you have ways of shutting down the Letho, i.e. in this case Igni, you may be incentivized to buff the opponent's units just to get the higher value coming out.
Is that one of those? There's an interesting consideration to do that, Swim.
Well, I mean, there is an interesting consideration for it, Sqwerell.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's the only consideration, really. I mean, you have Igni as well. You're just getting great gold value in general. I mean, why wouldn't you do that, really, if you think about it?
Yeah, no,
we should be able to get into the second deck here from Red Coin's Grave Keeper. And of course, this is going to be a Sqwerell deck, pretty heavily skewed in terms of Doors. This is the most competitive deck we've seen all day, boys.
It's also loaded to the brim with Witchers. Full Metal Witchers. I watch anime too, guys. That's a great reference.
Yeah, I don't really see, kind of the obvious meme factor in this deck right now. There are Witchers, that is true. All the Witchers are there, so I think that might be the extent of the memes. But I think Gravekeeper is really just starting out with quite a disadvantage in maybe the jury vote later on.
Yeah,
I gotta say, what a tryhard.
Yeah, this is quite the tryhard deck.
And of course, in the meta of the rule set and Coin Clash, it's a very risky strategy to go for a tryhard, because it means if you lose, you expect to lose the jury vote as well, which means you may just be out of the running entirely.
And even if you do win the game, I mean, you expect to lose the 2 next subjective votes in terms of jury and caster votes. So
that's exactly right.
It's a very risky strategy for sure.
I think that Gravekeeper is just going to go in for the I1, and that's all there is to it strategy. It's a bold move. Let's see if it pays off for him. Why don't we get into the game right now and see how it plays out?
Yeah, I gotta say, I am excited to see these 7 Witchers in action.
I think he only has a chance to really win the, kind of the vote if all are played in one round. If they're kind of split up, they don't get the full power, kind of like Exodia. So, I mean, it'd be tough for him to win otherwise.
Okay, so we're gonna start off with Drago Madril's hand, and he's sitting pretty comfortably with his combo pieces. He has the Fringilla, he has the Novices for the potions, but he's gonna go ahead and mulligan away the Imperial Enforcer, not electing to play them from hand for that spy synergy.
You think the Mangonel is just there to look pretty, or am I missing something?
It might just be a mind game, like you play it, and then your opponent obviously uses a Thunder.
Let me put it this way, Sqwerell. I don't think you're missing anything.
Okay, good. By the way, how excited do you think Drago was when he saw the Trial of the Grasses? Oh, is that a pass?
Is he dry pass? Turn 1 from Drago Madril.
And I mean, that's very risky. You're giving your opponent a chance to really plan out, play out their game plan without disruption into a long round 3. So it's a bold move in this kind of match where you don't know. You really don't know what your opponent is bringing.
Yeah, I mean, all we see so far is an Elven Merc with an Ale, so it could be anything. The deck this tryhard could actually be closer to Spellitel, but Drago's not going to find that out because, I mean, what is Gravekeeper just dry passes here to get the card advantage back, right?
He does have Yavin, so there's a consideration he tries to stay in this round. Although Summoning Circle is a card that's getting a lot of value in the meme market right now, so he could expect that from Drago Madril as well.
And we're going to see Drago Madril draw and mulligan the Expired Ale, electing to pull it later with Vesemir, no doubt. Here comes the Mangonel, and this is going to threaten a major reveal smashdown that is never going to happen.
Oh!
There we go.
Thinking about it.
Yep, we're seeing it.
Oh, that refill, the cooldown. There it is. Thank you very... Oh, dude, Eskel. Even better. You just baited an Eskel.
Well, I mean, you're 25 points down.
No, but you baited a gold.
Yeah, that Eskel could have been worth 5 more points on the Yavin, making that Mangonel very effectively worth a 12-point play when you think about it, because it was a substitute for something that was going to kill Yavin.
Yeah, I think that was the game plan behind that card. I mean, when you can play 12-point silvers, why wouldn't you, right? I mean, who wouldn't play a 12-point silver or 12-point bronze?
Oh, dude, I hate 12-point bronzes. It's 15 or bust for me.
Oh, here comes the chain. Does he find the Imperial Enforcers? He found it. He's got it. The quad shot from the Imperial Enforcers coming down on these Witchers.
If he kills a Witcher. If he killed the Witcher, so this means that Gravekeeper is not able to assemble all 6 Witchers in one board state, and that just really devalues his meme factor going forward into the votes.
Not only that, but it gives Drago Madril the culture of victory, so to speak, by being able to... Taking down that Witcher is a huge blow for morale, Gravekeeper. I'm not sure he could possibly win the game now. I mean, he's only 23 points ahead, but still.
And we see Drago Majul not too sure what to do here. He's got the Vesemir for the expired ale. He could play it, but it's vulnerable to a pass here. And keep in mind, we're seeing the Lambert in Drago Majul's hand that is not attached to other units. That is a 5-point play.
There comes the expired ale. So if Gravekeeper passes here, he's going to have to make 18 points in one card. Is there anything he can do to do that?
Not in one in this case, but he can do it in two.
What do the Vico novices pull right now? What are we looking at here? Swallow potions?
Yep,
Is that it?
It is only swallow potions.
Yeah.
That is a 10-point play. When you mix it with Emir, it could be a 15-point. Well, no, sorry. That's a 13 point, huh? Yeah.
That's, a few points,
Yeah,
but less than
15
ale.
points.
Points, dude. Who can't, come on, counting is overrated. It's points. It makes the white number into the gold number. That's really all that matters in the end, isn't it?
Okay, so Drago is going to play out 2 cards here. Of course, going 2 cards down, but the expired ale is going to tick before the pass, which means Drago is only going to go 1 card down for round 3, and we'll have to see what this ale discards from Gravekeeper's hand.
I mean, hold on. Oh, yeah, I forgot. He doesn't have the other 2 Witchers. Jesus Christ. He just has Lambert. I was like, can't he just use the Witchers? Nope. It's only Lambert.
Okay, Draga's going to go ahead and dump the Impera Enforcers, saving his combo pieces for a huge Fringilla in round 3 here.
Do you think it's going to be enough with all the tools in Gravekeeper's hand right now?
Well, one of those tools is going away.
Yeah, that's true. What did he discard? I missed it.
Was that a second last, right?
No, the first light he discarded.
Oh, the first light.
No sunny days
He's
for
not
Gravekeeper.
really going to be missing that.
Yeah, and no weather for Drago, so I think it's fine. Gravekeeper with a really good play there with a pass, obviously very confused by the text. In foul ale decides to pass, and that's really
Here's the mulligan on the swallow potion for sure, I think, right?
Yeah.
He needs to be able to pull it out. It's a good black lesson. There's the Igni. So he has the combo here. He can use Letho aggressively if he wants.
No, he's got to play the Lambert, dude. He's got to play the Lambert. What if you just Emir Lambert for maximum value? Like, that's the 7-point play, right?
There's the Lambert coming down. Now, Gravekeeper has a few options here. He has the Broover. He could pull the Operator from this Broover, I believe. He still has the option, which is, of course, going to represent pretty huge value here, cloning the Dwarven Agitator.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean... This could be... Sorry, Panda, go ahead.
We're seeing some plays that are...
Boys.
We're seeing some plays that are too reminiscent of just standard ladder. I mean, is Gravekeeper really risking a bit too much here with these meta plays? I mean, Operator into Agitator, that's nothing new. Eskel into Mangonel, of course, a very, very seen play in the ladder as well. So, I mean, I think Gravekeeper is really risking it here.
Yeah, and you guys are going to want to keep in mind that Gravekeeper might expect Drago Madril to have 2 more Witchers sitting in his hand. That's the power of the one of Lambert Bluff.
It's truly a debate for the ages, if that were true. I think that, honestly, what's going to happen here is Drago is just going to surprise all of us. You guys are going to eat your words. We're going to see the power of Letho. Letho Fringilla is just going to take it, and I, for one, I'm really looking forward to that. Like, he's just going to eat that Yavin. He's going to Fringilla. He's going to Gigni. It's going to be amazing. I'm sure that Gravekeeper isn't just going to blow out Drago completely.
I think Gravekeeper's best bet is actually to lose this game. I mean, really, it's his only chance if you think about it. I mean, he might win this battle, but he definitely won't win the war.
It's the secret throwing strat. I really like it.
Yeah, those are just the strategies that this new format opens up as possibilities for these players.
Is he gonna?
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Here's
Yeah.
the swallow potion
Here's the swallow
on
potion.
the opponent's unit. Not even buffing the highest strength unit on Gravekeeper's board either.
No, dude.
Ah,
It's the mind tricks.
it makes sense. I mean, Drago reads the potential throw from Gravekeeper, and he knows that the guaranteed way to win this game is by losing it, and that's what he's doing. He's just buffing his opponent's units.
Drago gets a little bit unlucky with that Speletel, or rather, sorry, that Mahakam Ale not hitting Operator. He's just going to keep going for it, the absolute madman.
And you're going to observe fantastic Vesemir placement by Gravekeeper, putting it on the right side of the agitator so that if the Letho were to come down and the Ale were to buff Vesemir, it would not have been as many points for the Dudu. Truly a predictive play there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good strategy, to be honest. I mean, you're buffing your opponent's units. He thinks he's in the lead. He thinks he's in control. He maybe makes some blunders, some mistakes. He's not playing it too seriously, and then all of a sudden, you have 3 cards that swing for how many points? A lot of them. I don't know.
What do you guys think about this Drago Majul Rose stacking strategy here?
Oh, I think that he forgot that Lacerate exists as a card in Gwent. And, I mean, 2-point value, that's 1 less point off of each Lacerate tick, right? So, I mean, if you think about it, he's not really losing that much.
And we do have the opportunity to play Yavin out as well. If Yavin comes down next to that operator, it represents a bigger Letho and therefore a bigger Dudu, a bigger Fringilla. Is there any out that this Yavin could draw him, though? It will give him the guaranteed Mandrake.
It will give him the Mandrake. That's pretty big. You guys think that Mandrake looks like a certain character from Total Recall? Like, that has to be a reference,
Arnold
right?
Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, no, the other one. I don't remember Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, the guy
It's
was
an
buff,
arm,
but I don't
Sqwerell.
think he's that buff. I mean, it's a great movie. It could be a reference to it. I think someone at CDPR is just a fan of Total Recall. Is all I'm saying, guys. You can look for yourself, figure it out. It's make sure you have safe search off when you do.
What's
I mean,
safe search?
We didn't note this, but we saw a message there from Nsengfa. It might be Spy Nsengfa, dropping in some secret information from his, his Korean, Gravekeeper, obviously from the Korean Team 6 faction. So maybe there are.
This Lambert, it's coming down. There it is.
My God.
Pick of our novices. They're all dead.
Lambert, what a prick. What does Drago do to this? How does he respond to this? When is he gonna play that doo-doo out? It's gotta be soon, right? Oh.
It has to be. I mean, you have to be going for it before the Fringilla. You could use the Fringilla to reset something big on the side. It looks like he's going to use it here, buffing the Yavin up. Now,
What?
he might be confused which side of the board he is on.
I think he's going to Mandrake the Fringilla, and then Letho, and then doo-doo the Letho.
No. He's setting up the Igni. The Fringilla on the opponent's side of the board sets up the Yavin into Igni range, which allows for the Igni to kill an additional 12 strength unit.
Oh. Called it. He's gonna Letho and then use the doo-doo and then Igni. Oh, that's so amazing. And then the Mandrake is just gonna completely blow that strat out of the water.
Well, he's got 120 points and about 4 cards to make up.
This is a tough one to call.
Could be anyone's game. Here's the Letho coming down. Huge Letho, 63 points.
Letho.
It's 120, 130 points in Drago Majul's hand here.
What if he Mandrakes his own Letho? I think he's gonna do it.
He could do it.
The play
He
to
could
make.
do it. Here it is. The Cordial on the Letho, completely denying both the Dudu and the Igni, and that's gonna be it. Game is
No, he buffed it.
Wait.
He buffed it even more. He buffed it.
He buffed the Letho.
He's gonna win his Drago's gonna win this, dude. I'm calling it right now. He's winning this.
Wait, does the math check out though? There's still a lot of points.
No. Oh shit. He's so close. No, he's gonna lose. But it was
There's
so
going to be 12
close.
points here.
Yeah.
It's just will be enough.
So
So in the end, the math does not check out.
Oh man.
Man, I gotta say, guys, these games are ending deceptively close.
Yeah, that was so close, dude. That I did not expect that Mandrake until literally the end, where I was like, hold on, is he gonna do that? So okay. We got Gravekeeper with the votes from the jury, and a
bit of a surprise there, yeah.
Really, guys?
Yeah. It seems very interesting. As the jury might be rigged. I mean, there might be some bribing going on behind the scenes. Saw some Korean spy action.
A lot of people might have been very appreciative of that Mandrake play at the end.
I mean,
Is that enough though?
yeah.
Well, I'm not saying I would have voted for Gravekeeper.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that I think that Drago's Mandrake play was way more next level because Gravekeeper's Mandrake play was just BM. You know, it's just like, I see you, I don't care, I'm gonna do it anyway, right? But Drago's Mandrake was next level. I mean, we don't have a say in this because Gravekeeper got a solid 2-0. But in my heart and in my mind, Drago, know that you are the winner. You win this forever.
Yeah, the caster's hearts go out to you, Drago.
I agree as well.
Yeah.
Okay, Jaggerous.
Jaggerous?
Jaggerous? Did I say?
You said Jaggerous.
Jaggerous.
Do you have anything in particular to note about that set?
Well, Drim, it may be worth noting that the jury actually votes purely on the decks and doesn't actually get to see the games, and you would know that if you read the rules before casting. But
Rules.
Well, apparently I wasn't the only one who didn't read the rules because apparently nobody knew that.
Fortunately, I exist in order to keep you guys on track, and I do agree that Drago was robbed, and that clearly, you know, there is some collusion going on by someone. I don't know, maybe that red drain, blue drain fellow. He's not very trustworthy, I wouldn't say.
Get an internal affairs investigation going here.
But speaking of which, we do have the next matchup, which will be Red Drain, this time of Team Red Coin, so the good twin, or the bad twin, I mean, it depends on what happens, versus the man, the mage, the red. It is the lovely red mage man. And let's see what they have for us. Hopefully more Lambert. Let's go with more Lambert.
There really, honestly, kind of couldn't be too much more Lambert, though.
That is true. But before we get to that, it is worth knowing that it's time for a break. And the other thing is that we have a poll running to see who is going to win. And the poll is currently 27 votes for a red coin and 27 votes for a blue coin.
No way.
100% that's the case. But more importantly, we also have a vote running on whether weebs are in or out. And the weebs are currently out with 53 votes to 44. So we need some more votes for weebs in. So during the intermission, make sure you vote on the polls. And we'll be back shortly. Don't go anywhere.
Wolves asleep amidst the trees. Bats all a swaying in the breeze. But one soul lies anxious, wide awake, fearing all manner of ghouls, hags, and wraiths. For your dolly Polly sleep has flown. Don't dare let her tremble alone. For the witcher, heartless cold, paid in coin of gold. He comes, he'll go, leave naught behind but heartache and woe. Deep, deep woe. It's all silent for the night. Cows turned in as daylight dies. But when soul lies anxious, wide awake, fearing all manner of ghouls, hags, and wraiths. My dear dolly Polly, shut your eyes, lie still, lie silent, utter no cries. As the witcher, brave and bold, paid in coin of gold. He'll chop and slice you, gut and dice you, eat you up whole. Eat you whole. shadows asleep amidst the trees. That's all a swaying in the breeze. But
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Coin Clash, the ultimate showdown to determine whether Team Red Coin or Team Blue Coin are superior, and whether we're allowed to continue to bitch about the coin flip. Currently, in the lead, Team Red Coin, so we can continue to bitch about the coin flip at this stage, but Team Blue Coin only one point behind as we move into the fourth set. The fourth set, that's about it. Red Mage Man versus Red Rain. So Red Mage Man weirdly playing for Team Blue, Red Rain playing for Team Red. So the battle of the Reds. Who's going to win? I think it's going to be Team Red. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean this is gonna be pretty close here. I mean, we can see right off the bat Red Mage Man's deck bringing a new meaning to the word card advantage.
Yeah. I also appreciate the Hercules meme. I'm always down for Disney songs.
What I don't appreciate is Mill, though. So, I mean, right off the bat, already he does not have my vote. If this does end up, Mill's just terrible. I mean, it's a risky argument to invest in. I mean, it's just a disaster.
And the worst thing is, he's a Mill deck that's teched against the Mill matchup. I mean, he's got the Mill coming out of everywhere.
I don't even see the mill until you guys point it out. I think I just have this.
it's hard to find. It's a Where's Waldo.
It's more like a repression. You know, like I've repressed it so much that someone has to point it out for me to see it. You know, like I just haze over every time. I think I've got ladder PTSD, guys. I mean, pretty obvious. Mill win con. Why don't we see what our Team Red Coin's doing? Hopefully something a little bit more memey than Mill at this point.
Hey man, I'll take a 40-card deck.
I mean, we don't really see any Renew or Shackles on the Avalak, so I think he's not really investing too much into Mill. It's just kind of a side win condition, maybe.
It's not even a decoy, actually.
Yeah, so it's not that heavily teched towards milling his opponent, but still, you know, some very... some big villains here like Ulbrich and Avalak that no one really likes. So
yeah, that's true. At least they're premium.
Yeah, and it's gonna be tough to be able to get value out of the Crow's Eye. We've seen some Hack'em Ale coming down in this tournament, and of course all over ladder. If his opponent is using a bit of Ale, these Crow's Eye could be very devastating.
Yeah, chat's getting really angry at us. It's not Mill, guys. It's hyper thin. We're really sorry, chat. As usual.
Hyper thin?
Yeah, it's hyper thin, dude.
This is a hyper thick.
Got him.
All right, hyper mill. Okay. Can we agree with that?
Yeah.
Hyper.
I don't want to see this in ladder. Please don't play it.
Okay, so we should be able to swing over to our opponent's Red Raim's deck, and of course here we have the Necker Catapult archetype.
I think Red Raim forgot that he's supposed to be Red Raim for this one and not Blue Raim.
Yeah, I think his brother maybe did both deck lists, which is, a sad turn of events because we were expecting maybe more from Red Raim. But again, Necker Catapult, a deck that was kind of made famous by A- at the very start of when this Death Wish archetype kind of came out. But I mean, it hasn't really found success anywhere.
Yeah, it's an interesting deck we have here. We have the rallies just by thinning, and of course we have Draug, an extremely common choice in any monsters deck. You will be able to banish the opponent's graveyard and buff yourself up at the same time. A bit of a powerhouse card that's really dominating the ladder right now.
I have to point out just a little bit of a critique to our little meme deck builders, guys. Foul Ale is just lazy, intellectually lazy. Like, you guys can come up with better memes than just putting in Foul Ale XD. It's funny because it's an RNG card. Come on, guys. I expect a little bit more from you, Red Raim. You're supposed to build good decks. Come on. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Panda.
There's definitely some easy outs, like Lambert, like Foul Ale, like the Gontro Dim. But we haven't seen any Gontro yet, which is quite surprising for this kind of meme matchup. Which, I mean, props to the players that aren't really going into that easy out with Gontro Dim.
Yeah, they're just going for the Lamberts instead. So, I mean, what are we feeling about the matchup? The 40-card hyper thick red Major Man deck, or the catapult flinging red Dream deck over here? If we had to place bets, what are we thinking?
I mean,
I think Red Dream's deck has some kind of game plan here with the Iris and the Neckers, obviously both at 3 points. Although the Neckers might, get a little bit bigger. Actually, will they? They won't, right?
I want to give it to Red Mage Man. I kind of want to see, chat made me see the light. It's not mill, it's hyper thin. I get to retain my sanity. I kind of want to see how a 40-card Nilfgaard deck works out, and hopefully he doesn't get any brick draws so I can see how he sequences things properly. So I kind of want to give it to Red Mage for now.
Yeah, Red Mage has my vote as well.
All right, well, let's move on straight into this game and see what ends up happening with that hyper thick deck and this, Necker launcher deck. Anytime now.
Any second now.
Yeah, no,
it's fine. Here we go.
There it is. Oh, Aridin. Love that premium Aridin.
So we're going to start off with Red Mage Man's perspective. He is the Calvite hyper thick deck. He has the Crow's Eyes. He's got 2 Alchemists in hand, which is a beautiful hand right off the bat. That is absolutely what you want in this 40-card deck.
God, Magni Division. Can I take it back? Can I give it to Red Ray? It's not too late, right, guys?
No, you can take it back, Sqwerell.
All right. I'm giving it to Red Ray.
As long as the first card hasn't been played, I think you're good to change your vote.
All right.
Okay, so we see the Alchemist coming down. This is going to reveal 2 cards, and it's going to give him some crucial information right off the bat. He sees the Cyclops and the D-Shackles in hand, so he might be a little confused what he's playing against.
Here come the Neckers, boys. So he plays the other Alchemist, most likely going to target his own foot soldiers. And he's going to do 1-1. Get the third Golem out, get a soldier, draw a card.
And he has enough information to know that he is against the Necker Tosser deck. There's the Ogroid coming down and smashing that Golem into smithereens.
Yeah, great play. I mean, great synergy there with the Necker and the Cyclops, of course. It's a good play, right? 13 points. It's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not the worst. He's getting the Emissary Chain. And Emissary Chain into an Alba Pikeman, an incredible -2 point play by Red Mage Man.
Well, you put 3 points on your opponent's board, you might as well put 3 points on your board, or 3 units on your board as well.
Not if that D-Shackles has anything to say about it.
Yeah, D-Shackles on the Pikeman. Something we've been seeing a lot in the current meta. I mean, Pikeman has been a card that has found a lot of value. 12 points, who can complain about that? In very slow increments, of course.
And this Crow's Eye and Red Mage's ooh, the Earth Elemental will be blocking this Crow's Eye from finding value. Of course, the Emissaries allowing the Crow's Eye to take more target. There it comes out, smashing that Quench Shield right off.
Never lucky. Here comes the second Cyclops, hitting the Earth Elemental, getting that sweet carry.
6 damage for that.
Oh yeah. Who needs the D-Shackles when you can just kill the second Pikeman?
Yeah, Red Rim is actually doing pretty well with this deck so far. I may have underestimated a little bit. The Vico Medic is just going to go ahead and res that Emissary. It's like the Spy deck, but instead of course, using Impera Enforcers to enable the Vicos, you've got the Crow's Eye doing it.
So he gets a Salak and gives his opponent a First Light. What do you think about First Light as a bronze utility card when given to you with a Magni Division? Do you like to see that extra First Light for the value, or would you rather see something else off the top besides the obvious Earth Elemental?
Well, I gotta say, of course, if you are threatening a mill deck, these Manga Divisions could, I suppose, force Red Dream into a situation where he's overthinned, although that's not likely going to happen with his deck.
Here, he's going to use one of those, get a Sea Harpy. That's not a bad pull from First Light.
I mean, if he's pulling First Light from the Mag Divisions, basically he's getting mills, right? I mean, if you consider the First Light are basically bringing a unit from your deck, they're not actually a unit themselves, so...
Yeah. Do you think that he's going to be able to fit him? I mean, this is like you've got to depend on your opponent getting first lights to be able to be milled, right? Like we said, Red Mage Man's deck isn't really a mill deck. It just kind of thins itself out. Just so happens that Red Rame is getting the first lights.
Yeah.
Could this not be intentional?
So we have the Foul Ale being drawn from Red Rame's hand. He can play it at any time. But of course, it's a little risky to do it now as Red Mage Man has pretty decent pass. We're going to see the Rally come out instead, and he's just going to keep flooding the board with these Death Wish units.
The Death Wish and carryover, by the way. So he keeps getting carryover cards with all of those first lights. That's pretty lucky. I mean, I wouldn't be happy if I were Red Mage Man right now.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how this round swings out, Red Rame is going to have the point advantage going into round 2. He has the Alchemist opportunity, but only one Foot Soldier to reveal. Goes for it anyway. He will be revealing one of the opponent's units here.
And we see already down to 13 cards in his deck, round 1. I mean, it's a valiant effort. He started off with a bit over 20 a lot. So he's doing pretty well, I think.
20 a lot. Wait, is Rainfarn dead? Rainfarn's dead, right? That's all the emissaries, all the spies. There's Joachim and Cantarella in his hand. Rainfarn's just
there could be a mulligan though as well, yeah.
Yeah. But like he just kind of has to not play Joachim. Oh, he just gives him the pass.
It's the perfect chance to play a Rainfarn that is dead. But
you gain good points out of mulliganing away the Joachim without playing it.
Right.
He's electing to play the Vilgefortz here, which is a little committal. It's pulling out Roach as well, which may be working to his favor, of course, because he needs to mulligan away the Joachim. Here's the Crow's Eye combo, and that sets him up nicely for the third 18-point potential Crow's Eye in round 2 or 3.
And already down to 8 cards, so he's been doing a lot of thinning. Maybe he will maybe get to his final destination of 0 cards left.
Yeah, he and Red Rame are at the same card count, and the 40 card deck against the 25 means that Red Mage Man has thinned 15 more cards than Red Rame.
Oh, that's what happens when you play Triple Magnate Division round 1, right? You're gonna do a lot of thinning. So is he thinking about mulliganing the Crow's Eye instead of the Joachim? That's what he's gonna do.
Ooh, there it is.
What do you think is the reasoning behind that?
His deck tracker being too complicated with too many cards.
So, Red Rame gets off what, the 5th or 6th? That's the 5th first light of his side. Gets another carryover unit. Like this guy's, and the
1-point Crow's Eye.
This is the second time. 2 out of 3 times a Crow's Eye has hit an Earth Elemental. Can you imagine how mad you would be in an actual game if that happened to you?
I mean, considering he's playing a deck that has 40 cards, I don't think he's too bad. I think he's in pretty good spirits. And I think he also knows that regardless if he wins this game or not, if he's able to thin his deck, he 100% has a jury and caster vote because it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, thinning down. And he does have the thin here. I mean, he has a guaranteed 3 cards left in his deck and the Kahir and the Calvite to pull everything out. He's got the Avalok. He's over-thinning his deck by like 3 cards here, guys.
Yeah. Don't you love it when your Avalok is in the bottom 3 cards of your deck? It's kind of like karma for running Avalok, right?
Yeah, in a small way.
Yeah.
I mean, Red Mage Man still does have a decent short round 3 potential if he's able to bleed it really far, but Red Rame is always going to have the succubus as an answer. I don't see an out Red Mage Man might have here.
Yeah, I think Red Rame here is actually helping Red Mage Man by, discarding a card here, but in the end he's just going to play it out, that Foul Ale. I think Red Rame Man isn't too interested in what that card does. I think he's just going to play it out, and we see Mandrake here not doing much of anything.
It's a pretty nice buff on that Earth Ellie that's going to make it
12 strength Earth Ellie, man. How do you even fight that?
We're still looking at Vico Varomedics, and keep in mind these Vico Varomedics are going to be able to pull some carryover cards. We have some bleed potential here, but he's electing to pass. He does have the medic on the 12 strength Earth Ellie in round 3, so watch out for that.
I can't wait until that gets succubus, honestly. I mean, well, the what does Joachim pull? He pulls 2 strength cards. Those go up to 12. Yeah, so it's about the same, right? So if you want to go for the ultimate spicy meme value, you got to suck your own Earth Elemental if it gets Vico medicked.
Wait,
Drow.
You have to what?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, so, give your
No.
Earth Elemental the suck.
I don't know, Squirrel. We'll leave you with that.
Yeah. Suck is short for succubus.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know what you were thinking of.
Okay, so here we have the Drought coming out, and we're going to see a huge Earth Elemental smash, and there it is. But there still are some 10-point Cyclopses in Red Drame's graveyard that these Vicovaro medics might have grabs at.
Yeah, it's definitely a viable play here, I think. I mean, Red Ray Man he's not going to mill himself, is he? I mean, there's a perfect, really, game plan going here, right? Or he's going to mill himself because he has Avalanche in hand.
He's absolutely going to mill himself. He's over-thinning by 3, right?
Yeah.
So maybe he should have included a Sire in the deck, maybe. I mean, maybe
he's over-thinning by 4, guys. Like, he's thinned himself out of 44 cards.
I mean, he gets
he could do even more if he wants the Resident Emissary. He could overthin by 6. And there it is. Here's a huge Cyclops sacrificing the Vico medic and smashing it into the opponent's Drow gear.
In what world is that? That's how do you manage to hyper thin yourself out of a 40 card deck with Avalok in the bottom of your library? How did he manage that?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think it's great to see, and I think it's very important to note now for the chat saying this wasn't a mill deck. This was definitely a mill deck. Just you're not milling your opponent, you're milling yourself.
He shackles on the Draug. He is ready to decoy, maybe even summoning circle that Draug. If the summoning circle is guaranteed on whatever the decoy target is, because Red Mage Man has no way left to block a summoning circle in his entire hand.
I think I figured out Red Mage Man's win con, guys. His win con is to just get the jury on his side and then win our vote, because he knows that Red Ram is just going to win this no matter what. This is the only thing I see.
That is actually a very powerful strategy. I mean, if you meme hard enough, if you can guarantee the jury and the caster vote, you have won the match.
Yeah, and I think it shows his value as a player as well. I mean, adapting to the new format and really knowing how to, utilize it to his advantage. And I mean, he has the guaranteed victory, I think.
Yeah, honestly, Red Mage Man is truly showing us the pinnacle of NA Gwent gameplay right now. Just these next level strats that we can't even begin to fathom.
Yep, and Red Ram is sitting on a couple options here. He has the decoy. That Draugr is still comfortably at 12 points, but he's going to swap the Cyclops out, and he's going to smash his own Earth Elemental into the opponent's Rain Fam.
Wait, did you just say Rain Fam?
Did you guys know it's actually pronounced Rain Farn?
Yeah, I think I think everyone knows that.
What? That's ridiculous. Next thing you're going to tell me that Dennis is actually not called Cranberry. So he's just giving Red Ranger cards. Oh my God.
Utmost gratitude. My utmost gratitude.
So, Red Ram, I guess, just come to play out the round out of respect for his fellow. Is he just going to BM with the 2 cards, or is he going to call it here?
I think he's going to continue playing, just making sure we all know. I mean, for the newer players to know what each card does. Maybe some players aren't familiar with Aridin.
Yeah, what do you guys think is going to happen to Aridin with the new patch? Like, do you think he's going to become a Discover card, or is he going to be able to spawn all the Wild Hunt units?
God, who knows?
Who knows? Oh, man.
Great climax here. Red Ram does end up taking it in the end. Who would have thought after Red Mage Man mills himself for 5 cards?
I knew it from the beginning.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best climaxes we've had over here on our cast.
Moving on, I think this is a very easy to call jury vote. Red Mage Man taking it. One very confused jury member still voting for Red Ram.
So that is, for me, my vote is going to go to Red Mage Man as well, of course.
Yeah. I gotta give it to Red Mage Man, honestly. Like, it takes art to hyper thin yourself out of a 40 card deck, and with the next level strategy of impressing the chat and the jury and the casters, like he knows there's no way I can win against Red Ram. He's an actually good player. So my best hope is to just meme it up enough to just win the double vote, and I think he's got it.
Yeah, the over-thin and the 40-card deck takes it away.
I have to agree. I think Red Mage Man very easily loses the battle, wins the war. Very good strategy from him. Jaggerous, what did you think about this one?
I mean, ultimately, you guys, Red Mage Man, he had his haters. You guys were like, it's thin. No, it's hyper, whatever it was. But it turns out all along it was mill. It was just self-mill. Red Mage Man, he was on a diet, and he was like, right, I'm getting thin as... So, he did 40 cards. Red Rim ran, admittedly, Red Rim had one card left in his deck. We saw every single card in that game, bar one. So a very exciting set, and that actually means that Blue Coin now ties up the series with Red Coin 2 points to 2. Our current chat poll has Red Coin on 81 votes and Blue Coin on 115 votes. So clearly you guys think that Blue Coin will prevail despite adversity, because clearly they're the good guys in this scenario. But next up, we do have the lovely Sporley of Blue Coin versus Team Red Coin's Arcanishu. And let's see who wins. More importantly, Weeb's in. Now over to you, casters.
All right, so right off the bat, we have the Silver Lambert here. Yet again, has there been a deck with neither Lambert? I think the last set had decks with neither Lambert. Is that right?
That's true, yeah. Red Mage and Red Ram did not go for the Lambert Mei.
Was that the only set that didn't have a Lambert, at least on both sides?
Yes, so far.
I believe so, yeah. We're just seeing some very, I think, underrepresented cards in this deck in general. We're seeing Necromancy, Treason, Armored Cavalry, cards you don't normally see too much. I think it's great they finally got some time to shine.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Alba Armored Cavalry. There's a lot you can do with that information, and the cards can get kind of almost decently playable.
I really like the Necromancy personally. Like this might be the first time that a Necromancy is played on stream in any capacity in Gwent. I could be wrong though. What do you guys? Do you guys remember any game where a Necromancy was played?
I had it played against me once. They necromancied my 17-point Jenge friend.
that's pretty good necromancy.
I think we can move on to Eric Anishu's deck from the Red Coin team and see what he's brought to this matchup. What kind of exciting stuff he's brought for us here.
Oh, it's worth it to note that Sporley has been designated the official representative of Twitch chat. Seeing as he's on literally every streamer's stream, chatting away all the time. So hands up, clap, easy claps for your boy Sporley in chat. Here's Arcanishu, our first Gaunter.
Yeah, which is, as you pointed out earlier, surprising, the first Gaunter of the day, as of course Gaunter does take it away in the meme meta currently, but it looks like a lot of people are opting for kind of more side strategies where they're not including him. Now we're going to see from Arcanishu's deck, it's going to be very similar to the deck played by one of our participants previously, with the Swallow Potions and the Fringilla.
Yeah, and again, very similar, the Armored Cavalry, being repeated as well. So, some similarities between both decks. And I think the main culprit here is going to be Gonzro Dim in this matchup. We see Shackles, we see Decoy, we see Summoning Circle. A lot of plays can be made there.
Yeah, I think the idea here is to be able to reuse Gaunter as much as possible, which is something that we've seen before in the past, and maybe it'll work out better this time than those times.
I sure hope so. I think that so far, based off of the decks, this is the matchup that I am most excited for. Honestly, I expected a few more Gaunters than we've gotten so far, and maybe this one game will be the game that makes up for all the other series for how many times we could potentially see Gaunter be played.
Yeah, we're going to move right into this game and see if you are right, Sqwerell, if this is the game to end all games. Gaunter finally here, the god himself. Let's see if we can get this done.
While this is getting started, guys, get a quick vote on who do you think is going to win this. My vote personally goes for Arcanishu.
I'm going to go with Arcanishu as well. Just the Gaunter inclusion is great to see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mix it up and say Sporley.
Yeah, Swim's always a man of the Twitch people.
Man of the mix-ups.
Oh, yeah. So mulliganing away the ambassador. Honestly, I'm not even going to pretend to know what he's going for here. We're going to find out. Like, does he have a D-shackle in his hand yet? Did you guys see that?
No, but he has those off the.
He has
yeah,
and there's one in his hand.
There's one in his hand.
Yeah,
he's making sure he has.
He's ready for
targets.
Yep, so we're going to see Sporley starting out here. Now, of course, he does have the one of Witcher. He has the Alchemist, which will provide him the utility on the Vanadel Elites, even if they won't pull units out for him.
And the bamboozle here, very good.
Turn 1. What a risky.
This is a tough one. Here's the high.
Oh,
he hits the Infiltrator.
Nailed it from the very beginning. What a player. What a god.
And he has his choice over any single card in his entire deck that he would like here. He already has the D-Shackles in hand, so he doesn't need to elect to use it on the Gaunter here. Here's the Kakir. He's going to D-Shackles the Gaunter and pull him back immediately, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep, there it is. He just gets the Gaunter back in his hand, ready for use and abuse.
So the reward for winning the Gaunter gamble is a 4-point play and a silver Gaunter in your hand. And there's the summoning circle.
Oh, he's summoning circles the Gaunter.
Guess it's high.
Oh, he misses
Ambassador.
it. Misses.
And we're gonna see that coming right back with the summoning circle from Arkanishu.
This is already my favorite game of the series.
He's going high again, but this is risky.
Oh,
He has it.
What a god.
What a gambler.
And he can do anything he wants. He can
just
de-shackle
decoy.
Raven and pull it back to his hand if he wants.
He can decoy the Gaunter and play it again in the same round.
I gotta say, the risky thing here is that if you de-shackles the Gaunter, you won't have the renew target, whereas you already have the decoy and the Emir target on the silver Gaunter in hand. You want 1 gold and 1 silver here, and he goes for that without taking the gold off this one.
He's going for the safe play. All right. We unfortunately can't see the options, but he's just going through the motion. What do we get real quick? Okay, he gets the armored cavalry.
Good math, guys. Quick maths.
He's going to do it again. You're so smart, Panda.
Here's the Emir into the Gaunter. Now going high is risky. It's paid off for him twice, but there's a lot of
He's going to do it again. Always high roll.
Oh, armored cavalry. So what's the Gaunter score here?
We're at 4 Gaunters, I believe. Was that the 3rd or 4th?
That was the fourth, maybe.
That was the 4th, I think.
It was the 4th Gaunter.
That was the 4th
Arkanishu
Gaunter.
has won 2 and lost to 1, and Sporley has lost to 1.
He's going again.
Arkanishu's winning by 2.
Always
Here's
high
the
roll.
Oh, cavalry again, just denying him.
Looks like his luck has run out from the beginning. It's caught up to him.
Yeah, maybe Arkanishu getting just a bit too high for this one with those Gaunters. Should maybe get a bit lower for the next one, but 4 in a row, I mean, it's a risky move.
Yeah, he has still won 2 of them, so he's still out at ahead on the Gaunter matchup compared to Sporley, who's only played 1 and lost that one.
Arkanishu's thinking about what he's going to go next. He's hovering over the Vico. What does that get? Just gets him a Swallow Potion or D-Shackles. Opts for the Swallow Potion, buffing up the Kahir so he can Fringilla it later.
Yeah, and you got to be aware there's 2 more, well, maybe even more, but there's 2 more off the bat Gaunters in Arkanishu's hand. If he ails, it could draw him decoy, and he has the Royal Decree into renew for next round as well.
He definitely has his bases covered, and I think he knows that if he wins the Gaunter battle, he might just win the game with the jury as well. So, I mean, he's definitely, focusing a lot on that battle there.
Oh, Arkanishu already won. Like, in my heart, he's the winner here. So he goes for the Elite, an incredible play. That card, a lot of hype when it was first revealed. A lot of people on Reddit really loved it. And surprisingly, not seeing as much play as it could. He's going to go for it now. Gets 32 points off of that. That's a huge swing.
Huge swing. And there was not really an answer in Sporley's deck to deal with this. Is that right?
I think there is not an Ignore Scorch at all. So, I mean, Sporley just going kind of off meta with this and doesn't have an answer to this very interesting Fringilla play.
And if Sporley doesn't pass now, he's at a bit of a danger for Arkanishu's pass.
I think if I were in a Sporley situation, I would pass here. But he's going to go for it. He goes for the Emir. What's he going to play? That Infiltrator. Is he going to bluff? Yeah, he's going to bluff a Minnow.
And he's returning Lambert.
Oh, it's a great mind game. I think he's kind of saying he has all 3 wizards. He wants to make sure to have them for a round 3 finish, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he still does have 2 more mulligans, and Arkanishu doesn't know there's not a Vesemir and whatever the Eskel is that what he's called? Eskel in Sporley's hand, so he could mulligan them both away in rounds 2 and 3 theoretically.
Arkanishu, he's hovering over the pass. I mean, I don't know, man. It's 20. That's 20-something points. I'm not good at math. He's going to pass. He's just going to let him see if Sporley can catch up in 1 card.
Can Sporley catch up in 3 cards? I mean, he has an odd-looking hand there.
Yeah, so Arkanishu's going to take it on even cards. It looks like Arkanishu actually on track to potentially get the first 3-0 of this entire tournament if he wins both. Well, there was actually another opportunity for a 3-0. Never mind.
Yeah. No, it's fine, man.
We do see a Sire as well. A Sire shuffling back Gaunter into the deck. Could be an idea.
Does he want to do that, though?
I mean, do you ever not want to put Gaunter back into the deck?
That's a great point, man. I mean, you could renew, right? Like, you just Royal Decree renew. But he also has a Silver Gaunter.
Exactly. He has 2 Gaunters to be played, so if he can play both of them again, it just guarantees victory, basically.
There's the Vicovaro Novice into the Alba Armored Cavalry. This is going to give him some valuable information for the top of Arkanishu's deck. And he, of course, sees the Vicovaro Medic there.
Yeah, great tempo play again. 6 points. I mean, very, very... I mean, it's great when your opponent passes, you can just play your worst play, kind of, and Vicovaro Medic was that play.
Okay, so we might be seeing the finisher to end all finishers. If the Asir returns the Gaunter that is silver, we have the renew for the gold Gaunter, and that is the most important gamble. If he wins it, he pulls the silver Gaunter as well, which is able to be decoyed.
Yeah, that's massive. That's absolutely huge. So we're going to see if Arkanishu can pull this huge combo off.
The very first gamble of this round, the one that decides whether he gets the silver Gaunter out, is going to be the most relevant, but he does it before the Asir. Here's the renew. On the Gaunter, does he get high or low?
Let's see what he does. He's always going to go high. Always high. No!
And it's the punish on the Venedal. Oh, no!
And the Necromancy draw.
The Necromancy can deny the Gaunter from Arkanishu's graveyard.
He's going for
it. Why would you do that, Sporley? That's so anti-fun. No, you never do that.
He's going for it.
No, don't go for it. No. No, don't do it. Oh,
there it is.
He
the
did
Necromancy.
it. Oh, man.
Denial. She was out of Gaunter options entirely. He has 1 more D-Shackles on the decoy, and that's his last one.
His smile and optimism gone. This looks like it's the beginning of the end for our boy Arkanishu. Like, I think I agreed with you guys. Like, he should have played the Asir first, so you can have the maximum potential of 2 Gaunters on the board at the same time. But I think the pressure of this high stakes, incredibly skill for a tournament just got to Arkanishu, and he just misplayed. It happens to the best of us, you know.
Yeah, and 1 fell swoop, 1 drastic plot twist. He was at the height. He was on top of the mountain. He just falls off of it. No place to be made anymore.
And that's giving him pretty good Venendel Elite value off the Expardale as well. Arkanishu may want to get it out of his hand to deny it in the future, but of course, since it reveals itself, Sporley will always have the opportunity to play 1 more Venendel Elite before he has to use it.
It's worth noting that if he didn't go for that Necromancy to instantly kill the Gaunter, he could have given Sporley the Foul Ale, and if he played the Foul Ale, it was entirely possible for the Ale to draw the Silver Gaunter into Arkanishu's hand, but that Necromancy denial, just shutting out, like, Sporley has to have been thinking about that Foul Ale meta, dude.
Yeah, I think Arkanishu had a lot of outs, a lot of ways to play that out to guarantee the maximum meme efficiency, but in the end, he maybe chooses the riskiest route, and it ends up punishing him in the end.
Man, this is actually still going to end up pretty close here at the end. Sporley has, of course, the Expardale. He'll play it here. This draws the Fringilla Vingo for Arkanishu, but he doesn't really have incredible targets with it. He will have a pretty big Gaunter swing after he's played the last Swallow Potion from his deck.
And there are no clear counters from Sporley either in his hand.
I would say it would be pretty high. I mean, it's what with the other Swallow Potion that's at 26 points. That's 25 points. That's pretty decent swing, right? What does Sporley have with his Royal Decree? I forgot what his last gold is.
It's probably not actually going to be enough to combat this Fringilla.
Yeah, it definitely isn't Menno, I think. So, I mean, we're pretty safe to say that there is no Infiltrator Menno combo going on. And, I mean, there's no other way to really stop this, is there?
Yeah, absolutely. And, of course, the Regis only reducing base strength is going to try to shut down that Vic of
He sees it coming.
A very cheeky play, but unfortunately, there's a second one here.
I mean, that playing the novice on the front row, not giving backup for the Gaunter is a bit of a risky move in case something like that happens.
Is it possible the Royal Decree could kill this other Vicovaro medic? Because if it can, and if the Last Wish doesn't bail Arcanishu out, it is actually possible he could not have enough points, but there's the Venadel Elite, and it's going to take 2 unit kills for Sporley to find himself out of this one.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty hard, I think. I mean, Regis, Gaunter. I think Gaunter's the obvious choice to try and ease back the jury. But even then, will it be enough?
I mean, once you're out in the entire deck, everything is low. He guesses low, he hits it, and he's got his choice of anything here. But is there an answer anywhere in his deck?
I don't remember his deck, man. I have no idea.
No, I was actually asking you guys. I don't know either. There's the
doo-doo. That's a very big dude. I mean,
that's a strong dude. Oh, the ambassador, man. This is going to be really close.
Yeah, a photo finish. The Fringilla, however, is just going to be too many points here. Arcanishu has to have this.
Yeah, the double Fringilla is just too much here. No clear-cut answer from Sporley to kind of, finish this off. And in the end, Arcanishu not punished for his risky plays. Couldn't maximize the Gaunters. And of course, we see a very lackluster finish there from Sporley as well.
What do you mean lackluster? He played Lambert last. He was obviously planning that out from round 1. That's why he put it back in his hand, right?
Well, it was a finisher, but he just didn't finish the race, right?
Yeah. I gotta agree with you there. So Arcanishu proving that Gaunter is such a good card that you can whiff on him. What was that? 2 or 3 times? How many times did he whiff on him?
Guys, can we talk about this jury vote?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to. Dude? There's a lot of bribing being done behind the scenes. I think we've seen a lot of suspicious stuff. Korean spies. I mean, they have to get an investigation going on maybe from Gwentelman.
The intrigue behind these jury votes might end up becoming the most interesting match of all in this tournament. So we've got a tie. So it's up to us, guys. Swim, what do you think? Who won the vote here?
Arcanishu, loud and clear.
Yeah, I'm definitely backing up Swim here. It's definitely Arcanishu. Just great execution in general.
Yeah, Arcanishu. How many times did he play that Gaunter at? 5 times? Was it 6?
I think it was, I believe it was 5.
5 times. Yeah, dude. He whiffed on it half the time, and he still won. Like, that deserves the win from my vote. So that's a 3-0 sweep for Arcanishu. He loses the jury vote, but who really cares about that? The winner in our hearts. Jaggerous, what did you think about that game?
Well, what a fantastic game. I think probably the one chat has been most passionate about. A lot of F-bombs being dropped with that necromancy towards Blue Coin. And I think Blue Coin, maybe not the darling that chat once thought they were. It's Sporley, the villain of that set. But well played by Arcanishu. And it's always good to see that many Gaunters basically showing Freddy how it should be done, which is always nice to see. However, next up, we do have the lovely War Machine versus Duncoro, and that will be our last game of Team Blue Coin versus Team Red Coin. Team Red Coin are currently up 3 points to 2. So, will it end in a tie, or will Red Coin prevail with their superior coin flips? We'll have to find out shortly as we check out these next 2 decks.
Yeah, it's all gonna come down to War Machine here. The Blue Coin's last chance. If he's able to win this, he secures a tie in the standings. However, unfortunately for everyone involved.
Hey guys, remember Triple Foglets? I remember.
I think it was a very big
A
mistake.
valiant effort.
No, it was a big mistake having War Machine as the last player. You know, this is not the player that you want to bail you out of a tough situation. War Machine might have, slipped on his keyboard and ended up adding a whole bunch of cards, but this is not what Blue kind of wants to see.
Maybe he's preparing for some kind of new monster organic strategy. I mean, he has the Marjo and the Blood-Curdling Auras and the Mandrake. Maybe he's just getting ready for that sweet Hillock deck.
I mean, shout out to War Machine. He probably used up so much brain power coming up with the amazing art assets that we've seen in this tournament that he just didn't have anything left in the tank for this, and in a fever dream just randomly pressed the buttons enough to make a deck. But, I mean, props for the guts.
That was probably it.
Yeah.
It's the only viable explanation. I think because this is definitely some kind of it's a monster deck, that's for sure. It's a monster of a deck. I think that is for sure. We're going to move on to the next deck list and see what we have to, kind of play against this Dunkoro.
Top that, Dunkoro.
Dunkoro of Team Red Coin, also one of the main player, maybe arguably the only good player in this tournament. Let's see what we've got. Teachers, bouncers, and a party.
So we have the Ale of the Ancestors, we have Odrin, and of course, as many Hakamales as we can fit in.
I love this deck's theme. Holy crap. Like, so far, this is the flavor win of the century. Like, it's just having a party at a college, drinking lots of beers. Who can't relate to that?
I never...
I didn't have any trolls at my party, so...
I dropped out of college.
Or mages.
All right, guys. Well, leaving me hanging out to dry here. We've got the what about the fogs going on here? I guess when you get drunk, it's all a haze.
No, I think that's actually Dunkoro's vision with this deck. He's really going fully thematic here. He has maybe bested the Game of Thrones theme deck that we saw earlier, and I mean even the name: teachers, bouncers, and a party.
I mean, Troll loves the bouncer, right?
It's one bouncer, right? Or is it him and Stennis? Him, Stennis, and Vesemir? Is the bouncers the entire range draw? I guess it's the entire range draw here.
You think the teachers are the front row? I mean, it might be, right? Bernard Tutor. You're tutoring
That's interesting.
someone?
That's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's actually lined up the rows to perfectly match the flavor here.
I mean, do we even bother playing this out? Dunk wins, right?
But I mean, it's a sad party, right? You only have really commandos and adepts. I mean, that's not much of a base for a party. So,
but you got Odrin. He's the life of the party.
That is true. Maybe he's the DJ even, I'd say.
Yeah, he does move around.
Where's
the room.
DJ here, guys?
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
0 out of
miss.
10.
DJ Extra missing from this party, man. All right. Why don't we actually get to playing out? Going over the lore of this deck. It's getting to be a bit much for me.
Let's move on to this last game and see if War Machine's entity can bring it back for Blue Coin, but it's going to be tough, I think.
I will say there's going to be fog on both sides of it, even if Dunkoro clears it. I mean that's the one commonality here, right? I actually honestly don't remember much of War Machine's deck apart from the fog.
There's a slight possibility that there wasn't enough money for the DJ due to the bribing, so that could just be it. And there just wasn't enough of a budget left, so they're kind of stuck with just some radio stations playing the music.
Oh man, you hate to hear. I mean, Spotify is doing pretty well these days, right? Shout out to Spotify. Please sponsor us for the next tournament.
It's a viable strategy, just having Spotify as the main, music generator.
What does War Machine start with here?
Doesn't have units. Just now noticed.
The Dagon Fog.
Well, you have the proactive fog. You can bluff using a drowner that you don't have to pull them into it at the same time. This is going to be a pretty tricky game for War Machine to really find his way out of.
Close ranks.
Dunk getting thematically just gets the principle out there, or rather, I mean, what's the RA? I guess full test the RA, right? You just get the RA out there, and then the party can get started.
But here we see War Machine already throwing down 2 out of his 4 fogs, and Dunkoro can just easily commit himself to the range draw. He also has the Weather Clear of Ale of the Ancestors, which can just come down and make that fog disappear.
And even then, like thinking further on into the future rounds, how many more units does War Machine have?
As many as he has foglets.
Yeah, he just has fog. That's literally how his deck is played.
Yeah, this is not looking great for War Machine. Dunkoro is going to go ahead and mulligan an Ale, finding an Ale from his deck.
He swap beers for beers. We can keep this going all day. At least the summoning circle gets the ban art tutor, so that's points on the board, right? That's something. What else is he going to do?
Right. Is he going for it? He has the mulligan opportunity as well. If there's anything he wants to pull out, he could develop a 3rd fog, and that might actually bait Dunkoro into using Ale, which War Machine could respond with his last fog on.
I think it's important to note as well, full test, in the smoke, instead of getting high, he is getting low, down to 3 strength already. He might be dying here in the end.
Oh, is that what the fog is?
Of course. Come on,
Oh,
Phil.
man, dude,
What kind of parties did you go to, Sqwerell?
I'm such a normie. So he just plays out his 3rd fog, gets that 3rd fog lit out. Dunkoro, I'm sure, losing IQ points as we speak, looking at that board.
Yep, and here's that Ale of the Ancestors coming out to rescue full test and clear that fog. But War Machine has the perfect counter of reapplying that fog and completely denying that Ale value. But he's going to pass instead.
That's actually pretty smart. Plus, he gets the Ale on Blue Meme for the next round. He gets to steal the keg from the party. What a jerk. Who does that?
Yeah, that's true. Although he did give up round control, and he did commit 3 of his fogs and 75% of his deck's units at the same time.
Yeah, does he have... I mean, he has Summoning Circle, right? Blue Meme only has the keg so far, right? And 2 blood-curdling roars. How does he get value out of his roars?
You know, I gotta say, I really, really admire Dunkoro's strategy here. Going for the flavor points in deck building allows him to win the jury's votes in addition to potentially winning the game, because he doesn't have to sacrifice competitive integrity to do it.
I mean, even then, if you go up against an opponent like War Machine with this deck, you kind of, anything you bring wins the game, right?
Yeah, realistically speaking, it's just like, he just thinks, oh, I'm against War Machine. I could just put together some flavor and win anyway. I feel kind of bad for trashing War Machine now. He can do it, right? Like, does he have a single unit left in his deck? Do you guys remember any units besides the Foglets?
I mean, he's got bears. He can turn his Foglets into bears. That's kind of like a 7-strength unit. I mean, he only has 1 Foglet, so the first one's kind of like a 7-strength unit. Yeah, this is not boding well for War Machine, unfortunately.
Well, he gets a Blue Stripes Commando. Any other scenario would be like, oh, that's pretty terrible. Oh, the doo-doo. War Machine strategy is revealed. Just get his opponent to play out his deck, and then doo-doo the highest strength unit while controlling the...
We could see the double foul Ale here if Dunkoro elects to play his own as well, but instead we're going to see Trollo. Dunkoro, it's possible that the foul Ale could discard his expired Ale, which isn't really good, but it's kind of funny.
It could discard the Commando, I mean, if you really think about it.
Yeah, Dunkoro could be going for the Hail Mary play of letting it discard a bricked card on his end. He's thinking about going ahead and playing it out, though.
He's thinking about it.
He might have even mulligans thinking about that interaction and purposely drawn that Commando to his hand as well.
Now, what Dunkoro... But if he plays this expired Ale, War Machine can counter with his foul Ale, drawing Dunkoro a silver or a gold, that Dunkoro's expired Ale might be about to discard. He's just going to go ahead and get rid of the foul Ale at this time.
And this, and he gets the Mandrake, so that cavalry, in addition to being, stunted and hamstrung by the fog on Trollolo, which was a genius move by War Machine, now whatever gets boosted is just going to get mandraked after the doo-doo goes off, right?
Was it genius though? He's fogging the only bouncer. I mean,
No,
anyone
dude.
can get into the party now.
It's genius. Don't worry about it. Look, see? Like, now he doesn't have any good targets for his blood-curdling roar because he's going to keep buffing his Foglet. It's fine, guys.
Oh dear. I mean, he has the BTM, which could take a risk here at being able to close this out. War Machine not looking to be in a great situation here. He does have the doo-doo. He could hold on to it for that heavy cavalry, and that'll be a good upset. Alex shackles his own. He's going to decoy it.
Oh, that's so smart. He's going to decoy it.
Oh, the play's coming out. That is going to give him the value in the long run. Mind,
Yeah,
not
it
enough to
is.
win, but maybe more than he has.
I mean, it turns
But,
that
I mean,
fog into a buff.
There's another fog left in the deck for Dunkoro, so it doesn't matter. It was a great 2.2 card combo, but it was worth like -7 points.
4-point bear. What do you mean? That's amazing. Oh.
So here we have War Machine playing out his Foul Ale. This is going to draw Dunkoro Royal Decree, which is effectively hitting his Renew. And he still has the Ale left in his graveyard that he can override War Machine's Fog with. But electing not to do it.
You gotta get drunker first.
Dunkoro is playing around the fog hitting his Cholo by not buffing his cavalry, and that way not letting the doo-doo get too big as well. So it's just, mind games by Dunkoro, I think.
That is true as well, yes.
So War Machine looking at his 2 blood-curdling roars and seriously, I imagine reevaluating his life choices right now.
There it is. He's going to go ahead and get a nice blood-curdling roar on that Foglet. Effectively a 7-point play.
Dunk
Here's the
response.
Renew. This is going to
Instant
pull out the
renew.
Ale of the Ancestors, but he's going to play it in the background, not overriding the Fog in this case, but electing to get more value out of his own beer.
Yeah, like we said, I mean, playing around that possible doo-doo in the end as well, a very common choice in these decks in the Coin Clash.
You got to think about how next level Dunkoro is. He recognizes that a deck like this has to run doo-doo, right? It's too ridiculous not to. So he's just he's lulling War Machine into a false sense of security. This is just what does War Machine even do about this right now? Does he just lightning bolt? Like what is he going to use Alzur's Thunder on? Just 7 damage.
Yeah, there's just not too much he can use it on.
You stand before royal
I mean, I think War Machine, he knows this. He knows he lost the game.
Yeah.
Once he created the deck, so I think it's not too big of a surprise for him. In the end, I mean, BTM, just cards that just don't make sense. Mandrake, doo-doo, I mean, what are you doing? Trollolo? Not even waiting for the cavalry? It's just terrible timing.
I mean, do you Mandrake the Ale? Because that
Sure.
I guess. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just thinking of cards, man. What's the most efficient value you can get out of the Mandrake? It's got to be the Ale, or the Ale of the Ancestors, right? Because it stops the buff from happening.
I guess so, but even then, I mean, I think he knows he's lost this game.
Oh yeah, dude. No, the game's lost. I'm just.
At this point, you're basically just playing for flavor.
Yeah.
He's going to go ahead and shut down Dunkoro's Stennis. This does interrupt Dunkoro's flavor strategy as he's losing out on his bouncers here. So a bit of a good flavor play coming up by War Machine there.
I mean, War Machine could have had an even bigger flavor play. If he put the Mandrake in the drink, that means he spiked the beer and ruined the party for everyone. How much more flavor do you need than that?
That is also true. A Mandrake and a keg is normally not a good idea for partygoers.
Yeah. I think that Dunk can literally pass right now and still win the game.
Oh, that I'm quite confident.
Playing out the Sheila. Just going through the motions of putting War Machine out of his misery here. Observe and master in action. Look at
There
that.
it is. Here's the
BTM.
BTM that is going to go right through Trololo's armor and swing for a clean 20 points.
Yeah, a bouncer with a big hit, from one of these wild students, but it's not enough to knock him down. He is still strong in the smoke. In the end, Dudu loses value because of that BTM, and War Machine with I think the most disastrous deck we've seen so far.
Trololo just calling for Teacher after he gets beat up. Teacher goes and smacks that keg right back in its place.
Now, I got to say about this one, boys, I'm actually quite curious to see how these jury votes would have ended out here, specifically because while Dunkoro has the flavor, War Machine did, in fact, bring, in a certain sense, at least, the memeiest deck. And there it is, Dunkoro with 4 votes, taking the clean 2-0 in this matchup. And Red Coin is going to win the tournament 4-2. 4-2.
I mean, it was a blowout, but it was kind of close in the grand scope of things. War Machine maybe has to revisit his deck building ideas, maybe a bit more units next time around. But still, I think very interesting decks we've seen today, and I think it was great overall.
Yeah, I had a blast.
So far, guys, what do you think was... Well, you know what? Let's get Jag back in this so we can all talk about this together. Your favorite decks. Jaggerous, why don't we start with you?
Hey, what up? It's like a party.
Yeah.
Well, I enjoyed the party deck. I'm gonna be honest. It was missing a DJ, but he had his smoke machines. He had some girls, which is always good to have at a party. He had some beer, which is always good to have at a party. Everything that you could like. But ultimately, I think the Gaunter deck was, the most fun. That's my opinion. What about you guys?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think my favorite has got to be Gaunter. Like, we were complaining about the entire tournament. We were complaining about seeing no Gaunters, and I was just thinking, it's a bunch of foul ales. We need more Gaunters. And then Arkanishu, 5 Gaunters, effectively playing 1 Gaunter per matchup that we saw so far. Right? Because that was the 5th game, and he played 5 Gaunters. It was perfect. Like, you've got to give it to Arkanishu. Arkanishu's deck is amazing. Just the perfect essence of this tournament, I think. With Dunkoro, 2nd place, gotta love that party theme, but 5 Gaunters, how could I say no to that?
Yeah, I think it was interesting. I think also the hyper thick deck was very interesting to see as well. The fact that it got executed perfectly. But I think the most important thing to note here is we might not be done yet, right, Swim?
Oh yeah, I'll be back after I get some water, guys.
Oh yeah,
that's
true. We might not be done yet.
There might still be.
That's right, Panda.
Something in store, but what could it possibly be?
Guys, what's going on here?
Oh.
What are we doing?
Hey man, how's it going, buddy?
What's going on here?
You missed it.
What's up? Well, I missed
you
what?
Missed it. What do you mean what? You missed everything.
What?
Okay, here we go. This is it. The feature match. This is going to be Blue Rain versus Red Rain.
Finally, the twins finally battle it out to really decide who the winner here is.
Now, I got to ask, is this literally Red Rain playing against himself on 2 different clients?
No, of course not. They're brothers. They're different people.
Right. All right then.
Berza,
Okay,
what do you think about this matchup?
I have no idea. To be honest. Is he playing against himself? No.
No, they're brothers. They're twins. They both play Gwent.
Separated at birth.
Separated at birth, nice.
Back together.
So here we have Blue Rain's deck. This is the Bovine Beat Down. He's come equipped with catapults, and he's got the tremors to potentially gain value off of killing his own cow swarms.
Beautiful. Catapults he play. Wow.
I mean, the 8 strength units there, do you guys know what they're called? Because I don't.
Those are Tridem infantrymen.
Exactly.
Perfect. Thank you guys for clearing that up. It's an interesting deck. I mean, we see Pavetta, we see Mandrake, we see some clear synergies with this cow. It's going to be kind of the star of the matchup. And I mean, will it be enough to win though? Can he execute perfectly?
Yeah, it's really all going to come down to this cow. Bit of an interesting theme he's got going here. Cows and catapults, almost like the rot tosser, except the cows are very much alive.
Exactly. We're gonna move on to his twin brothers deck and see what his evil nemesis is able to bring to kind of counter this bovine beatdown and see if he can survive it even. Soon.
Yeah, any moment now.
Soon
And
TM.
there it is. So here we have Rage Rame on Champion of Chickens. Now he has a one of spell list,
Nice.
and of course we have Camby, which hasn't been played in this tournament yet either.
Yeah, it's very surprising. Camby is kind of the meme all-star of old from a few months ago, but he's been overtaken by Lambert, by Gontro, Dim, but still a very interesting deck with the cock coming back as well.
Yeah, he's got a very spell-heavy, organic-themed deck, and we'll really have to see how this one works out. Camby and Gaunter in the same deck. What are your thoughts on this one, Berza?
Kentucky Fried Camby. It's gonna be good. I mean, this deck for me, like Champion of Chickens, looks more spicy than the other deck. Although catapults, I mean, you don't see catapults anymore. So, I don't know. It's going to be a tough one for sure. But Champion of Chickens, I think, has my vote for now. I love seeing Gaunter, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put my vote on the Cow Catapult deck. What are you thinking, Panda?
I'm going to go with Champion of Chickens as well. I mean, I definitely prefer chicken over beef, so the chickens have my vote.
Yep. So we should be able to get into the third. This is the final game, the feature match. Level 100 Red Rame versus level 6 Blue Rame.
OP players.
Yep. And we start with Blue Rame's hand. He's got his 2 catapults. He has his 3 knights, and he's ready to go. The adrenaline rush is out. The one thing he's missing is the prize winning cow.
The cow's there.
The important thing to note here is if that cow is played, Red Rame can pass and disable pretty much the whole deck flavor. So it's a very important thing to note.
And I gotta say, being twin brothers, he may just be on to Blue Rame's strategy here as well.
Yeah, but a pass here, I think, would definitely just, lose him the fan vote. I mean, purposely disrupting your opponent's strategy to that point is kind of just, kind of a dick move, and I think he's definitely going to play this one out.
So here is the Champion of Champions, which of course is going to come down at 11 strength, and you might notice that is only the second of Cox and Red Rame's deck.
I gotta say, that's one strong cow, though.
Yeah, the cow already at 8 strength, definitely, going for a long round here, trying to get that maximum synergy, getting all those, big units out from that cow. Who would have thought, right, that synergy from a cow? How would that exist?
Man, that Champion of Champions looking really, really intimidating up there. Can the Pavetta shuffle it back in this case?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's how it works. It's gonna work out that way. But I mean, there's not gonna be a bigger unit.
As soon as Red Rame plays a smaller unit, then Pavetta will be disabled in that case. There's the Herbalist, immediately shutting out that Pavetta as an option. The Catapult can keep it down, but it may just come back. And we're seeing the Rain on the cow, an interesting option.
Interesting.
What do you think about that play, Panda?
I mean, if you think about it, he's getting that cow to a lower value sooner. So in the end, he's maybe helping his twin brother out because he needs the help.
Is this fair play?
Yeah, that is absolutely true. We have the Stamelford's Tremors, which of course is going to trigger the prize-winning cow once. There it goes. The second Chort is coming out, which is going to be soon followed by a third.
Yeah, that's how it works. One comes out, and the next one the next turn. I mean, cow, great synergy. I think a lot of flavor as well. But I think Red Rame knows this, and Red Rame knows that his Blue Rame might need help executing this strategy. Who would have thought, right? The 2 twin brothers would help each other out to really get this over with. And we see Adrenaline Rush letting this cow live on to the afterlife.
And I gotta say, a real missed opportunity with the Pavetta on that Champion of Champions. It's gonna be pretty hard to gain value out of this card moving forward in this match.
Yeah, I mean, because Pavetta, I think that was the main thing, really. You shuffle back maybe the cow as well if you need to for the next round, for example.
Yeah, that may have had the opportunity to be the best Pavetta in the history of Gwent.
So now we have a great battle here between
There's
a
the
cock
tie.
and a cow.
Perfect tie.
Perfect tie, going to a long round 3.
Not staged at all.
Definitely not the same person playing against themselves.
Okay, so we go into the round 3 on even cards. Now, the 24-point champion of champions is going to have to contend against this 8-strength prize-winning cow. And as far as we know, this champion of champions hasn't won any prizes.
He hasn't. No, he's definitely not a prize-winning cock. We're gonna move on to Renew on the Priscilla, which is definitely gonna buff up that cow and really allow it to spawn out the maximum number of, and Pavetta comes out immediately.
Pavetta locking out that champion of champions, but Red Dream has one way to get it back this round with Gaunter if he can guess it right.
But Gaunters, but we've seen a lot of Gaunters fail already. Is he going to guess it right? I mean, it's hard to guess against Northern Realms. There might be Reaver Scouts. I mean, it's hard to say at this point.
It looks like he's biding his time with it. He wants to play out the round first, get some more information, play the Cambi, but this may come down to the final play of Gaunter at the end.
And last rate a bit early there. Normally want to wait it out till the end, but we do have Crow's Eye to get that great damage. A bait later on. Also Shieldmate. It's a card you don't really see that much nowadays, but they are here to really, at least be able to say their line, which people, of course, love in chat.
Yep. And there's those Shield Maidens just coming out immediately, smashing for value. That's a pretty big value play, and we still are able to get some decent value out of this Crow's Eye later as well.
Now all together.
And wow, how's this Cambi interaction going to work? I think that's the important part here. It looks like there is an open lane in the back lane for maybe Cambi to die from Crow's Eye.
And there's Arrakis Venom as well.
So he has two options to get rid of it, really.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a little bit tricky. The biggest thing in this matchup is that Blue Rame has no low units in his entire deck for Gaunter, so all Red Rame has to do is guess high in this case. If Red Rame plays the Gaunter at the end and guesses high, he is looking at a gigantic champion of champions swing at the end.
But that's not easy to do. I mean, talk to any gambler. It looks very easy, but it's really a lot harder because he doesn't know that there are lower units in his brother's deck, of course. Not the same person building these decks.
How could he? That's exactly right. So we're going to see some decent value coming out here from these catapults, despite the fact that there's no crewman to be found except for this full test. And what is this Renew hitting, Panda? Do you know?
This Renew will be hitting Priscilla, which was the only gold unit played in round 1. And it would have worked great with Cal, but Cal obviously has left the board, decided to move on to greener pastures, and it's not going to be buffing that cow at all.
Yeah, you said it. So he is deciding whether he wants to use the full test or the Priscilla here. It is a little bit of a risky Priscilla. Is he playing the catapult before the full test? What do you think about this play, Berza? This is kind of interesting.
I have no idea what they're doing.
His mind has been blown about 7 minutes ago.
Yeah, this is just too much. I'm just watching the mayhem. Yeah, there's a Cambi.
This is a bit of a risky play. I mean, Blue Rame having a card advantage. He has the full test, he has the Priscilla, and even if the Gaunter is able to guess correctly, if the Arrakis Venom can only find 4 value, does Blue Rame still end up taking this away?
I think he does. I mean, there's just too many points here, right? Or maybe he purposely, maybe Blue Rame is just bad enough that he doesn't know to play Priscilla first.
He's not dodging the Arrakis Venom, because of course, how could he know that Red Rame has it in his hand? There it is, coming down.
I think this definitely
comes down to this Gaunter.
The worst part is that this might just end up in a tie.
Here we go.
Here's the Gaunter. He has to guess high. Does he guess it high? He's going for it. He has the champion of champions. Oh, a huge swing.
It's a huge swing. I mean, this is really the best Gaunter you're gonna get, right? I mean, it's really well thought out here. We're gonna see Priscilla coming out.
So is it right that this is 1 point too short? It's only gaining 3 here.
Priscilla only gains 3, and in the end, Red Rame with the champion of champions. Priscilla still takes after the pass, I believe, and it will end up being a tie. The twin brothers equal in everything, but very noticing.
Hey guys, what did I miss?
Hey Sqwerell,
you're back. That was a long drink of water. I hope you're okay.
Yeah, man, I was a little dehydrated from all that amazing hype casting.
Well, you came right in time to see, once again, the rigged jury voting for Blue Rame that does not know how to play Priscilla, earlier into the round.
I mean, I saw some of that match towards the end. I gotta say the champion of champions coming in with the clutch and the Gaunter high roll, like what an amazing way to end this entire show match. It's just a Gaunter high roll into, what was that, a 30? How many points was that, champion?
No, it was a big cock for sure. I mean, it was a game
over 9,000.
The biggest I've ever seen.
It was a game. It was
champion sized, so to speak.
But yeah, it was a great, I think, finisher to this coin clash. I think it really, generally kind of showed what these players were kind of going for, and I think the memes were heavy, and there was a lot of fun to be had with all these decks.
And why don't we hand it back to Jaggerous? Jaggerous, why don't you play us off here?
Thank you so much to our casters, Sqwerell, Panda, and Swim, and also to the lovely Pavel Berja for coming and casting that last game. Ultimately, as we can see, when it's blue coin versus red coin, nobody wins. And I think it is a fair conclusion from this, the best tournament that Gwent has ever seen. The one and only Coin Clash. The only thing we have left to do is obviously say thank you to everyone. So shout outs to the casters for casting, to War Machine for the art assets. I mean, he brought us that lovely spell deck that didn't do a lot, but he also provided the art assets, so that's why he's part of this tournament.
That's why.
In the end, isn't that what really matters?
Shout outs to the jury for rigging their votes. Clearly, they have absolutely no idea what they're doing. Know nothing about Gwent, and really should just uninstall and go play some other card game. We don't need you. We don't need anyone. Shout out to all the players, obviously, especially Red Rame and his lovely brother / himself, Blue Rame, and everyone who took part and made such fun decks. This has obviously been, I think, one of the more fun tournaments that we've had. And last but not least, shout outs to our lovely viewers and all of the chat spam, all of the weebs who are in, all of the dwans
in, boys.
Who are out.
Weebs out.
Weebs always in.
What?
Dan's game the weaves away.
Dan's game the weebs away. Swim.
Yeah.
Swim. That sounds like something a degenerate would say.
Discussion.
Wait, how did you know I was a degenerate?
Oh, I just had an inkling. But last but not least, obviously, shout outs to the viewers for tuning in. If you want more like this, let us know. And obviously, we do have our polls for who you think was the ultimate winner, red coin or blue coin. Let us know in our polls, which we'll link in the chat. Beyond that, I guess have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching. Any shout outs from the casters?
No, just a big thanks for letting me be part of this great event. Obviously great fun to do something different in Gwent, not just, stick to competitive stuff all the time. And I think everyone, it showed that it was fun for the viewers as well. So just big shout out to everyone that organized it, basically.
On the topic of degenerates, I'd like to give a shout out to my boy Merchant. A good friend of mine. Go check out his stuff.
Shots fired.
Yeah, shout out to Crash, Overlord, and Red Mage Man, the main organizers of this, for herding cats and doing what really no one wanted to do, which is organize this kind of a tournament. They put it together. It's really coming in with the art assets, with the trailer, this organization. Good looking out, guys. It was really fun to do this, and I hope we see more of these kinds of tournaments in the future.
And last but not least, Berja, do you have any shout-outs or anything that you'd like to add?
I don't know how we're going to top Challenger next week. This was the best event in the world. I don't know. We're doomed.
I know, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Man, that was really cool. Thank you for organizing this. Thank you for having me on. Shout out to the Gwent community. Remember, RNG is great for your body and soul.
You heard it here, boys.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic evening, and hopefully we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
pampering.